Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to DGen Ed for the New Year's Eve stream. Kind of fumbling around a little bit here because I got things set up a little bit for viewing stuff online. And yeah, I've just got Astrobot music in the background. I just started a level. You can see that in the top little strip there. But yeah, I just wanted to do this for New Year's Eve. Maybe it's kind of lame doing this. I don't have much going on. But I feel like every year, in the 30s, it's like expectations really high for New Year's Eve. Nothing ever happens. And really, I've kind of devoted a lot of my life to this channel, like the past couple of years. And so I thought it would be fun to just stream for New Year's Eve. We got about an hour before the clock strikes 12 on the East Coast. And then an hour after that for where I'm at in the Midwest. And so I thought we could just, take the time to look back on the channel, go over some things. And also, I did want to say before I forget about it, thanks to all of you guys. Thank you so much for being here. I did try to catch up on all the comments. I apologize if I missed on some of the replies, but I believe I've caught up on all the comments. And yeah, it's just been like a really great year. In a lot of ways. It's also been a really tough year in a lot of ways. And so, yeah, I thought this would be a nice thing to do to kind of reflect on that. And if you guys, want to join, let me know in the chat. We'll populate above me and, talk about New Year's resolutions, things from over the year that were great, not so great, whatever. You can put them in the chat. And yeah, I just thought that would be a nice thing to do to kind of put a closure to the year. And let's see. What we do have over here on the screen for the web browser is, I've got this poll up here that I just started today. Going to try to start a new game every month in the new year for January. I am wondering which you think would be better for, number one, attracting new viewers, two, or B, increasing subscribers, and then C, entertaining current subscribers. So you guys who are here on the channel. So I also, what do you think? Comment other ideas. So I put up these 4 options because on YouTube polls, the most you can have are 4 options. The bottom one over here, I was going to make that be, comment your thoughts, but I thought, well, I'll add Grand Theft Auto 5. That is ranked number 2 as far as Grok is concerned. Regarding the most popular games to stream, Final Fantasy VII Remake is something that I've always wanted to rediscover. And yeah, so put that on there. Claire Obscure Expedition 33 won Game of the Year, so I thought that would be fun. And Arc Raiders won for Best Multiplayer Game. And so that seems like a really, really cool one. You need a PS subscription, though, or, whatever their online service is. So that would be, a little bit of an expense for me, but it could be really fun for all of us. So I thought I'd put that on there. But so far, it looks like Final Fantasy VII and Grand Theft Auto are in the lead. Only 5 votes, so make sure you're voting that. I'm probably not necessarily going to get the game at the beginning of January, so we got a whole month for it to be up here. And yeah, for me to consider votes. So make sure you voice your opinions. And one thing I might do is actually switch the song. And so we can just flip back over to here. I'm just hanging out here. Astrobot's taking a little nap there. And so what I might do, I'm going to leave the planet and go to a different level so we can listen to some other music. And this is actually music I did record some for the background. And that's this planet. So if we dive into here, I think that will actually be better background music, and I know it's just going to start, so we can just go with that, and let's see. Yeah, that should be all set. Got the birds, but the music will start in a minute. So yeah, I'm just going to be hanging out here, going over some stuff on the channel. If people want to join, great. If not, that's totally fine. I might wait a couple more minutes. I do have an apple juice, and we'll pop a bottle around midnight so we can enjoy that. But yeah, wanted to go over some stuff from the channel. And to begin with, one of the things I had experimented with this, I think a year ago, shorts, but I didn't really have a plan with them. I didn't really know how to do them. And so I did a little bit more experimentation with shorts. I don't have many. I've got, looks like 6 here on the channel. And, some more successful than others, but, just trying to promote, let's see, power packs. And then Snapchat, GameStop over here. This one's on AMC. We'll talk about that as well. Has gold topped? Clearly not, but it did pull back. So I thought that was interesting. And then Beyond Burgers. And so, or Beyond Meat, I guess I should say. Yeah, and there have been a couple of these that were pretty popular. One was Snapchat. I did record a clip from the stream earlier today when I was playing Where Winds Meet. I will be releasing that at some point tomorrow, but I'm playing Resident Evil, so it's probably going to be a little tough to get that in. I was hoping to edit it and have it ready before this stream, but I was watching some of the All In podcasts, and I got distracted with that. And then another one was, basically going over Jordy Visser's video and explaining it here, and then I also did a video on that as well. And yeah, both of these got, about 1,000 views, so feel good about those. These other ones in the hundreds. But yeah, this was pretty good for me, so I'm happy about that. And yeah, so that was an experiment. And but yeah, that's all the shorts. I don't really do too many, and my kind of content, is really just like longer format, me rambling, as you guys know. So this is new, and I'd like to experiment more with that in the new year. Iron it out, get more of these 1,000 plus views, and see how that goes. But yeah, after talking about shorts, let's go the other direction, longer format. Talking about, this is videos. I wanted to have lives next. So let's talk about the lives that I did, the live streams over the past year. Clearly, I was having fun with AI-generated images of Grok. Sorry, not of Grok, of Ed. And yeah, we could see, there's a Santa Claus here. Which is, from Ticker Request Live. And that was from December 22nd. And then the New Year's celebration here, December 29th. So that's kind of, where we're at now. This was like a year ago. And yeah, I was doing Ticker Request Lives. And that was pretty much the only live streams I was doing. January 5th, Ticker Request Live. I guess Biden was giving out presidential medals. And so I thought it'd be fun to have Ed receive one. And then this thumbnail, I remember somebody was commenting that, they liked the way the parrot looked, or the macaw. I believe that'd actually be a macaw. They probably said the macaw looks great. And it's like, oh yeah, that is a macaw. And yeah, and then some more, I tried to get the macaw or whatever bird to be there. And it kind of got a lumpy little guy there. I like the claymation style, so I was leaning into that. But yeah, these streams, let's see, this one 106, sorry, if my cursor's not lined up, it's just because it's just projected differently on the window versus what I'm seeing. But yeah, 116 views, that's pretty good for a Ticker Request Live. These other ones, 10s, nothing too crazy, but yeah, all these Ticker Request Lives, and then starting to actually get into pre-market prep. And so that is, one second, my image, the screen capture of me, the webcam was not locked into place. So that was being a little bit wonky. But yeah, anyways, I'm going to set that up so you guys know what I'm doing tomorrow. Is playing a bunch of Resident Evil 2. But yeah, I started doing pre-market preps, and actually around that time I had to do jury duties. That's why, Ed is, the jury or whatever. So that was kind of an annoying day. But yeah, I was doing Ticker Request Live, started to experiment with pre-market prep, just going over, the VIX, the SPY, Bitcoin before the market opens. And I was doing that for quite some time, I think maybe a month or two. And yeah, somewhat successful initially, I guess, but then it kind of, faded. Let's see, I'm going to scroll. Actually, I'll scroll a little bit more so we can see these. And yeah, so we got some more on there. Some of these thumbnails I really like a lot. I thought they were really creative. We got more pre-market prep. So yeah, I was doing pre-market prep like every day for a while. And yeah, just having fun with those AI generated images. This one I thought was really cool. It was, yeah, I think there was just negotiations around trade war, stuff like that. And let's see, how many views did that one get? 70 views. This one's 115, so that was pretty good. But yeah, I just AI generated each one of those caricatures of those world leaders, and then just Michael Saylor in the background meditating. However, you know, things went down a lot since then. So, you know, maybe that's a top signal. But this was, you know, inspired by Interstellar, this one, as you could probably tell. And I just enjoyed the ape in the spacesuit there, Ed in the spacesuit. So that's pretty cool. Exploring more with Ticker Request Live thumbnails, and then kind of getting more back to the basics with this pre-market prep thumbnail. Just didn't have the energy for it apparently, but was trying to like standardize that thumbnail. And yeah, had some fun with this. 41 views for that stream. And then, you know, getting back to more pre-market preps. I guess I don't know if that was February, so I don't know if it was a shortened week or if I just wasn't able to do that many pre-market preps, probably because of my work schedule. I think that's how it was. It was because I was working on like a 2 days on, 3 days off, 2 days on, 3 days off kind of schedule. So it was never the same days every week. So this would have been, let's see, with Ticker Request Live and then these 2 days. So yeah, I had probably worked, let's see, Friday, Saturday, Sunday did Ticker Request Live, then had off for pre-market prep Monday and Tuesday, and then was working Wednesday, Thursday, I don't know, Friday I could have probably done, I'm not sure. Anyways, but yeah, Ticker Request Live here, inspired by Jurassic Park. I'm not sure why exactly, but that was pretty cool. From February 17th, little Doge there, lizard, ape. And oh yeah, going to, you know, Fort Knox with Doge, the nerdy Doge kids there. That's pretty cool. Only 21 views, so not that spectacular. Little raccoon there, having fun with the AI images. 79 views for that one, so better than the day before, even though I think this is actually a better thumbnail. But yeah, let's keep scrolling up. Some more good thumbnails in my view. I mean, I'm of course biased because I created them. Oh, and I can scroll down a little bit more. I guess I'm gonna have to scroll up so we can see the numbers down there. But yeah, not getting into the triple digits for these. I think somebody gave me a hard time for this thumbnail. They thought it was, I don't know, too graphic. But you know, I just red paint keywords to get that kind of graphic there. And yeah, just pre-market prep. It was like a bear Terminator was terminating everybody, or zombies everywhere. Yeah, Ticker Request Live. I really like this one. That's a pretty cool graphic. So yeah, yay to creativity. And then yay to not so much creativity, but it was just talking about the dip there. I don't know how well that played out. And then Fort Knox here. And this thumbnail, this really kind of got me thinking more about, you know, President Trump and how, you know, I feel like so many people get worked up about things that he's doing or saying. And really the reality is that he's kind of like a magician. You know, he's got his hand moving over here, but he's doing something else with the other hand. And yeah, then plug power, charge point, stop covering charge point. I'm not sure when I stopped. We'll see, you know, later on up above. This is, you know, South Park influence. I'm not sure. Oh, it's because Andy Marsh is the CEO. He reminds me of Randy Marsh, Stan's dad from South Park. I'm not sure what this is. Just people burying something, digging something up. And yeah, I see I got somebody that joined, maybe. I'm just going over a review of the channel, going over a live stream, just looking at the thumbnails, kind of looking back on memories. And you're free to put in the chat, some stuff that you like to go over. But yeah, I'm just like scrolling, through memory lane, seeing how the channel's evolved over the past years. Definitely, go through phases of how I make thumbnails, and was using a lot of AI stuff, like in claymation. Some of these are just super cool thumbnails. This one here, the dinosaur with a sword, pretty cool. I don't know what inspired that, but and Mario, of course, for March 10th, you can see that. Mario at a computer trading, that's a pretty cool one. This is too, I think the Bronx Viking was posting about, just Jedi meditation, Zen, and whatnot. And then, yeah, I got some here of Jim Cramer. People tuning out. All right. I was going to say, with somebody here, all cheers now that I've been on for a little bit. I don't think I'm going to get in trouble for having the apple juice. But yeah, cheers to whoever's watching this, whenever you're watching this. I'm just trying to be grateful, going back, looking over, what I have, learned from the channel. Just trying to appreciate stuff from it. And I have to say, I made that apple juice too strong. I knew it, but it's okay. Yep, Doge. I thought I'd start a little show called The Doge Detective, where we'd look into Doge cuts, but it wasn't really that popular. It gets 41 views. I liked the graphics that I made for it, but yeah, it didn't seem like it was a worthwhile way to spend my time. And yeah, look to give up some gains. Look to give up some gains. I don't know what he's saying there. There's probably an actual quote from him or something. But yeah, this is a pretty elk there in the meadow. Most of these, pre-market preps, not getting like 100 views or anything. So it's like, it's not worth it for the amount of effort going into those. So I eventually ended up stopping doing that, because it's like a lot of work doing it. It's like mind numbing, and like having to get up early and do that. And it wasn't getting like the kind of traction I was hoping. So I kind of stopped. Oh, and then, yeah, I kind of settled on, again, AI generated, but like a default thumbnail for those. And yeah, this was talking about Neo on March 10th, apparently. Tesla being on the moon. Oh yeah, this was kind of like not necessarily a venting video, but talking about American exceptionalism and climate change, and like my experience having pursued a career down that path as an oceanographer, and just kind of like a lot of contradictions and stuff. And that was 9 months ago. I had a small Tesla position then. I still have a small Tesla position, but it's gotten a little bit bigger. But yeah, just like I felt like in academia, in that kind of circle, very left-leaning circle, I was around a bunch of people that, would talk about and, renewable energy and all this stuff, but they just like bash Elon Musk, and scientists who would think that going to space, going to the moon, going to Mars was a waste of time, money, energy, because we should be focusing on, Earth. And it's just completely ridiculous. So that was, kind of a little vent video, I guess. And that was a stream. Pretty crazy. 81 views for that. Maybe I released it as a clip as well, but yeah, that was pretty cool. And then this is just like poking fun at the Snow White drama. And yeah, more of these pre-market preps. You got the penguin from Billy Madison. This is Ryan Cohen being goofy, leaning forward. March 27th, nothing happened. Little cartoon of Ed. Tens of views, not hundreds of views, so not looking so great. Just gonna scroll down a little bit more so we can see. Actually, here, let's just go all the way so we get more in there. Ticker Request Live, kind of basic thumbnail. Ticker Request Live, this was a cool one, inspired by Fight Club, of course, the end of Fight Club, kind of chaos. And, hold on to your butts from Arnold from Jurassic Park. And I don't know what Trump was doing there. Saying you, something like that. Hitting the knee. I don't know, with a Ben Affleck thing there. This is just basic. Running out of ideas. Chimpanzee action figure. Everybody's making action figure. AI images, so I kind of fumbled with that. But yeah, none of these getting like 100 views. And yeah, I think coffee morning stream, I'm not sure what I did with that. That was 3 hours. I think that inspired something. I think that most certainly inspired something. I think this is what inspired, that had to have been what inspired Crypto Corner Sat Stacker. Because it's like a 3 hour long stream, coffee morning stream, morning coffee stream, CMS. Yeah, then Easter. Yeah, Easter. April 22nd, 23rd, Easter, bear. I photoshopped this, and I think somebody thought that was cool. The Trump next to the bear. Yeah, it's kind of getting into these like default using AI to make Ed be holding a cup of coffee and just be happy. So that was pretty neat. And let's see. I started doing, hey, pre-market prep. Well, maybe I could do overnight market prep. I think pre-market prep was the first one, and it's like, well, I got to change the name of that. Overnight market prep, make it blue. And, that was with, one of these. Cheers. I see somebody's joining. Cheers. Happy New Year to you. Let me know in the chat. I'm just going down memory lane from the channel. And just kind of seeing how I grew. Kind of a review of myself, review of the channel. Back here in April, May, I was trying to do like daily streams, pre-market, overnight prep, depending on my work schedule. And they weren't really that popular. I mean, some got like 70 views. It probably depended on the ticker that I was going over. So like I try to include some tickers in that. And, I guess I'm kind of trying to do something similar now with like gameplay streams, except rather than streaming, going over a bunch of charts and like getting dizzy from it, I'm just like playing a game, taking a break, going over charts, then take a break from the charts, play the game, balance. And so I think that's something that I learned from these, just trying to do this like almost every day, and then like seeing like only 20 views, only 14 views, the amount of energy, the time energy, just even to create the thumbnail, not worth it. And so that was something that I was, getting used to. But this is, I think, what kind of led to, the Crypto Corner Sat Stacker. But yeah, I mean, like all of the streams, just overnight market prep, pre-market prep, options explorer. That was something kind of cool that I did. Hopefully it was educational for people. 78 people watched it. But yeah, just pre-market, overnight market prep, FAFO, FOMO. Good lesson there in that. Ticker Request Live, just using the same thumbnail. So nothing too exciting. And eventually, I think this is like my breaking point up here. It's just like, I don't care. I'm just going to doodle on it. And yeah, let's see. 12 views. This one had 99, so that's good for a stream, but not enough for the work. And yeah, I mean, I had been doing those, and it's just like all of these, like trying to do like daily streams. I stopped doing Ticker Request Live. So let's see, when was the last time that I did Ticker Request Live? Maybe this one. It says 8 months ago. And let's see, when's the next Ticker Request Live? Ticker Request Live, okay, so that was May 18th, so like 7 months ago. And Ticker Request Live, June, so 6 months ago. And yeah, June over here, so 6 months. Okay, so this... So I guess I took like a 2-month break kind of streaming. So yeah, it was just like kind of periodic. Like I do a ticker request live on a Sunday. So like this one was June 22nd. This one 29th. So right in a row there. But then this one was June 1st. So like a little bit of a gap there. And yeah, so this is June 29th, and a couple weeks later, TRL over here. So I was just not doing them consistently. And then it's like I put out this video, Ticker Request Live, Return of the Degen. And yeah, I guess I hadn't really taken that much of a break, but it was just they were not consistent. It's like, okay, I'm going to do it consistently now. I'm just going to focus on that and stop with these overnight and pre-market preps because they weren't performing. But still, I mean, like when I do the Ticker Request Lives, it's like I do those and you can't see it because Ed's blocking it, but it's like 27 views, not worth the effort, not worth the energy. And like I see people, one person stopping by, leaving, another person stopping by, leaving. Nobody wants to hang out for this New Year's Eve. Of course not. Who would want to do this? But I think it's good. I think it's good to appreciate all the work, all the energy. And it's gone to this channel. It's pretty remarkable to see. Yeah, okay, so I was still doing some after hours update. What was I doing there? Tick Request Live. Yeah, so it's like Sundays for like 4 months ago, then 3 months, 3 months, 3 months, 3 months. After hours update. What was I doing with that? We're so back. I think I was just trying to do like a daily show, and actually some of those performed well. Like Ticker Request Live, not 100 views, and it's like After Hours Update, 200 views. That's pretty excellent. We're so back for an After Hours Update, 126, but then it's like fading down. People tuned in and they weren't impressed. They weren't impressed with the stuff that I put out. 60 views, 75, 71, you know. Whoa, Jack right there. Soy Jack. No, that's Soy Jack. And then, yeah, I did this Tick Request Live. I remember that thumbnail, the one right here. And yeah, some cool Tick Request Lives and After Hours updates. I'm not sure what I was doing with those. Those were, I think they were, I was attempting to do like, I think I was probably inspired by Crypto Wendio because she just do like half-an-hour shows and would stick to them being like 30 minutes. But like, I couldn't do that because I get like requests and stuff and then I'd go over 30 minutes. And I think that keeping a video or a stream under 30 minutes is good for the crypto, or not the crypto, the YouTube algorithm. And yeah, but this, you know, Pepe and Indiana Jones, this from, I believe he's holding up the goldfish in Who's Coming With Me and Jerry Maguire when the government was shutting down. Pumptober. And so it's like we're sad as Pepe here, and then we turn into this pumpkin, but Pumptober ended up being horrible. And so this year did not end up playing out as I expected. And like, you know, I was up like a 2x on my ETH position, but then like, hey, stick with the thesis, and things just did not play out. Yeah, I continued on doing some more after hours updates, maybe kind of played with different titles because, yeah, I think it's like I'll do a stream a day, after hours update, and take requests, and then I take clips from that to turn into videos. But it's just like I get too many requests that I couldn't keep them to like half an hour. You know, it's 33 minutes. I was pretty close on this one. Still, it's above that 30-minute mark. So not good for the algorithm on YouTube. 45 minutes, 56. And so I just get these requests and it's like I can't do it. So then, I don't know, I think it was just like probably because I was like watching Asmongold, and it's like, well, I mean, he rose up to do what he's doing. I mean, whether you agree with him or disagree with him, I think that he just makes good arguments. I enjoy his thought process, whether I agree with him or not. It doesn't matter. But yeah, he started out as a gamer. And so it's like, well, maybe it would be good to have some fun playing games. And also I forgot to mention with like the thumbnail of this stream, it's really just about embracing like the things that guys like, things that I like. It's like if you follow, you know, the go to school, get a job, do all the right things, you could still be screwed over in the end. And so it's like, well, you know, I might as well just have fun. And so that's kind of what I'm trying to lean into with the gaming on the channel. And then from that, I take clips to put out kind of a new format. But I, to be honest, I think it's working because it's sustainable for me. It's like, I want to stream because I want to play the games. And then I take clips from it. And so that's probably what this process, which came from pre-market preps, overnight market preps, after hours updates, like after the market closes, go over stuff and then take clips from it. And then it's just like I turn the camera on once, do clips. But if I just like, if I turn the camera on, it's like I'm going to stream for 30 minutes and then it goes for an hour, that ends up being exhausting. And it's like, I can't do it. But it's like, well, if I'm going to stream and it's basically me just playing games for 3 hours with a couple breaks, that's totally fine. I put out 2 videos a day of clips from that. And yeah, so I mean, this is just, let's see, some of the graphics here, you know, all made with Grok, but some of them are super cool. Like this one of Ed in space, pretty cool. I'm gonna have another sip of this. There was somebody hanging out for a little bit, but they left. It'd be nice if people put in the chat. Maybe I should put something in the chat. Happy New Year. And then I will do. Oh. So you should see my chat up there. Hopefully it shows an emoji. Yep, got the emoji there. So that's cool. And yeah, it's cool. I see it above me here. I see it on the left side of my screen. That's from YouTube. Actually, that's from YouTube via OBS. And I see it on my little laptop over here via YouTube. And so it's like I got all these little areas where the chat can be displayed and whatnot. But yeah, nobody's engaging. Totally cool. I wasn't necessarily expecting it. But yeah, Earthworm Jim, Ticker Request Live, that was a fun one to make. Figuring out how to get that font and stuff, that was cool. By the way, I'm selling, let's see, that was streamed 2 months ago. Yeah, and that was kind of like a after hours update. How can I take a clip from an after hours update and turn it into a video? That was a 51-minute stream. You know, nobody's going to watch that. 61 people will watch that. Hey, look, Mara, look at that. Oh, and actually, I wanted to add something. What is Intel on? I wanted to add Intel to the list here. INTC. That is the NASDAQ. Okay, so NASDAQ. This is my code for the ticker tape. Where would that fit on here? Computer-based stuff. Let's see. I'm just trying to think about this. Computer-based stuff. I'm thinking of Intel. Maybe a bull coin. Yeah, I can see it like right here. And wait, I said that was it was NASDAQ. Okay, that's what I thought. So let's see, NASDAQ. And then INTC. And so from that, I'm going to update this, refresh this page, and come back to where we were at, I think over here. And then I am going to... Hey, what's up? I see somebody's watching. I'm just, let's see. Oh, and actually, yeah, no, I guess that's my blog. So you can look at that. There's no secrets there. Refresh cache. And so it's just going to start up, and then it should have Intel on the list so we can keep an eye on that when I'm streaming gameplay and whatnot. So that's cool to have. But yeah, these other ones, I was just mentioning Ticker Quest Live, and how earlier in the year, like 2-3 months ago, it was like this evolution over the year of trying to have more consistent content. And so I was doing pre-market preps, overnight market preps, but those weren't getting views and they were too exhausting for me. They were too irregular around my work schedule. Then I started doing after hours updates where I'd focus them on a couple of tickers and then take some requests, trying to keep them to 30 minutes. But then because of the requests, it just go on for longer and longer, and it just became too exhausting and not sustainable. Beyond, this is one that, kind of pissed me off, to be honest, because somebody is requesting Beyond, and it's like I went over it briefly, and then they were like spamming the channel, and I actually had to learn, or I discovered how to hide people's comments, so it's not like blocking, so people would still have access to the channel, but they wouldn't be able to comment anymore, because he was like commenting these like massive things where it's just like, dude, like post that on X, post that on whatever social media. Like, that's not a comment about the video, that's you pumping something. And I didn't want to be associated with it. So, I mean, that was kind of good that I learned how to hide stuff, but it's just like, man, I put a lot of work into this. And just because, I mean, he was basically spamming my channel. This over here, Fun with the Plug, Power Rangers, and all the different tickers there. Tried to factor that in with the thumbnail. I was covering a bunch of stuff, taking clips from it, highlighting Plug. Bitcoin, I had a lot of fun making that thumbnail. It's kind of like Two-Face, in these. I had fun with it, replicating it, a little bit different variations. Starts talking about Strive. Mike Alfred, I lost some money because of some contracts that he introduced me to, but that's part of it. I recognize that they could go to zero. And also I recognize that some of the behavior that he has demonstrated has been kind of toppy, but that's how it is. You don't like, it's like if you're in it, you don't see it. You have to take a step back to see it. And still, I have a Strive position. I got some shares. I'm not worried about it. I'm taking a step back from contracts, and that's a valuable lesson learned. And yeah, let's continue to scroll here. This is Ticker Request Live. And, okay. And then I started doing, I streamed apparently opening these two packs of cards because I got them from GameStop and I wasn't opening them. They were just sitting there. Only 13 views. That's pretty pathetic. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, I don't really like opening up physical packs because the way that I do it, it's like very pain in the ass to edit the video. I actually opened up a couple power packs today, made some money on them. Person watching, I guess, left. But oh well, I'll drink to whoever's not saying Happy New Year's in the chat. But it's okay. I know people got stuff to do. I unfortunately or fortunately don't, because this channel has been my life. But yeah, I mean, GameStop's been really great for me, stock aside or whatever, just in embracing, having fun. Of course, I'm doing that for a thumbnail and whatnot. But yeah, and then it's like, I got a PlayStation 5. And so I did a little stream test. Only 31 views. That was just me fumbling with the PS5 right here, how that connects to and displays on, like my HDMI input to the monitor, but I'm viewing stuff on the display port. That's where we're seeing things. And then I have the laptop over here. So I did a stream test, and I'm actually surprised that my first stream, or maybe, no, I think my first stream is probably Resident Evil. But because it's kind of graphic, I didn't know how to flag it appropriately. And basically, YouTube was limiting its exposure. And I realized, well, because it's a stream, I don't know exactly what's going to come up in it. So I can be a little lenient in how I rank things or whatever. And then it can be flagged or whatever after the fact. And so that's why my first stream up here is Metal Gear, because that was like, no big deal. And I was initially like, I'd stream and then I'd take the stream down and release a kind of clip without so much of an intro later, hoping that would get more views. And also streams don't typically yield that much as far as ad revenue. I think just because it's like unprocessed, live footage. So like YouTube doesn't know where to put in the ads. So there can't be as many ads effectively. But yeah, Metal Gear Solid. And this is like, starting to experiment with just like using AI to say, hey, like this guy over here on the left, that's Ed. I want to make him look like he's in whatever game, leave the name tag, make him thinking. And so I started to make more Eds and had some fun with that. And so this is the first game stream that's up here. Did Prince of Persia, more Metal Gear, Avatar. I have to say I'm like super insanely disappointed by this game because it's like super open world, beautiful. I want to explore it, but then it's like the planet's being polluted by humans who are terrible. And so rather than getting to explore this beautiful Pandora landscape, you're in this like disgusting place and you're like, it's like open world, but you're bound by so many rules there. And it's just like not as fun. And like the bad guys are kind of limited because like, for example, in Where Winds Meet, it's just like this world that they created. So it doesn't really matter. And it's just like there are bad guys everywhere. In Avatar, there are just a bunch of animals that are either going to be hostile and or docile that you can hunt. And you do that, but then the only like things that you can like get into battles with are going to be people, as far as I've experienced. And it's just like you're an avatar, you're this tall, or you're a Navi, you're this tall. People are this big, and then like your character isn't like. This is a thing that I'm grasping about how like the gaming industry's screwed up, is that like let's say I want to be Jake Sully because Jake Sully's a badass. But I'm not a badass. I'm, whatever, however you want to describe me. And so, but I'm intrigued by Avatar because Jake Sully is the kind of man I want to be. Something like that. He's a hero. He's heroic. He's noble. All these things, all these qualities. But it's like, oh, well, the viewer may not identify with that. So let's make the character that you're playing more relatable. And so rather than playing as like this badass military guy who is like in this avatar body as a Navi, you're like this little kid who's like just like unsure of himself. All the people that you interact with are unsure of themselves. And they're all about like anti-corporate, all this stuff. And it's just like, I want to play this game to escape. I don't want to play this game to go to Pandora and then experience all the same problems that we have on Earth. I want to get away from that. So that's been a pretty disappointing game. But then Where Winds Meet, I played that earlier tonight. Didn't get many views, but probably because it's New Year's Eve. And then yeah, here we see, where's chapter 1 and 2. Getting into the Resident Evil streams as Leon. I love that game, I have to say. And then Battlefield 6, I'm actually kind of like only 24 views. That was on a Sunday, so maybe that's a factor. But like Battlefield 6, I got it because it was $35. But I'm much more intrigued by, what's it called? I'm much more intrigued by Arc Raiders because it's just like more futuristic, more, I don't know, just fun. It's creative. And I think maybe the next one's going to be Intel if I wrote the code right. Yeah, I did. Okay, cool. And yeah, so I don't know. I'm kind of disappointed that I got that game because as like a first person shooter game, I would have, that's like multiplayer, I would have rather gotten Arc Raiders. And yeah. And actually that's one thing that maybe I've kind of been standoffish, but I like don't share the channel with people at work because I think a lot of them would think I'm a POS. But one of the guys that I work with, he has a PS5, and I wonder if he has Arc Raiders, because that might be like a nice excuse for us to connect and just be like, hey man, don't judge, don't talk about the channel at work, you know. It's like my Fight Club. And yeah, more Metal Gear Solid. And so yeah, and like all of the streams now, look at all these streams. It's just like a ton of gameplay streams. So if you want to watch gameplay on my channel, you go to the streams. And yeah, I mean, like of these, let's just see. Dang, 400. And this is the other thing too. If I do stock analysis, like for 1 week or 1 day or whatever, you're going to watch it and that's it. It's old news a week later. But a stream of gameplay, you can watch that anytime. And so like Astrobot had got just over 200 views on Christmas 6 days ago, apparently. Yeah, because it was Thursday. Sometimes the time is off, like the way that YouTube rounds with months and stuff. But yeah, I mean, that's like basically doubled in views following the stream. So that's good. 3 hours. All of these are about 3 hours, unless I get like really hooked on stuff. Like this one was problematic. That's not good. I need to keep them at right around 3 hours. But yeah, I mean, I've had 400 views here. Jedi Survivor on Star Wars, or let's see. I mean, 60 was a lot for these because my initial streams, I mean, 52. Like if it's associated with a movie or something, that's pretty good. Yeah, this one, it was on a Sunday, just like this one. 18 views, 24 views. Not great performers. Resident Evil, to be honest, I don't care if those get views because I'm playing that because I want to. And I'm just streaming my gameplay. And then that makes me more accessible. But yeah, 400 views, 200 views. Astrobot seems like it's killing it. But then over here on Sunday, maybe because people are at church, I don't know. Or maybe people just like tune in like, hey, this seems cool, Astrobot. And then people tune into this. And then it's like, it's not as great. So it's like half as many views. And this one, it's like, yeah, I don't really like what that guy does. So maybe it's something like that. But yeah, I mean, it's just like, you know, every day. Only 8 views for this one. That's pretty sad. But if I refresh this page, we see that's live. 10 views. Somebody else tuned in. I'm going to have clips from it out tomorrow. So that's, oh my gosh, we got 10 minutes before the East Coast has New Year's. So what you might want to do is maybe go over to, I don't know, the Big Orange. This is in Miami. What is live? I want to see. This one's live. Times Square live. Okay. Mr. Neon's at the ring in downtown Miami. Okay, cool. But that's not live. And so this is, yeah, let's like refresh these. Okay, so this is Big Orange drop Miami. Times Square, New Year's Ball drop New York. Okay. So those are live. Times Square. Yeah, so I guess I'm not going to be able to do the orange. Oh, and I'm going to have to finish this and grab a drink. Prosecco. Yeah, this is Associated Press.
Build a website you love with Wix.
All right, and so we can just watch this. I should probably do premium as a YouTuber and stuff. But yeah, we can watch this go. I can just leave it like that. I think that's fine. I mean, who's happy they're not out in the cold? I'm happy. Got 8 minutes or so. And this is for New York. This is for East Coast. Super chat. Why are people giving super chats to Associated Press? That's crazy. $10? Like, why are you giving them super chats? That's insane. People are insane. Yeah, because, like, I mean, if you give super chats to, like, Associated Press or whatever, who cares? It's not a big deal. But if you give a super chat to, like, a small creator, huge deal. Yeah, it's like a game changer. Yeah, like if every subscriber, you know, gave $1 a month, I could do YouTube full time. Yeah, that's insane. That's kind of making me sad to see the Associated Press getting all this money. But yeah, what I might do, I'm gonna run for a second and grab some bubbly. It's kind of interesting. I don't know if you can see it on my ice cube there. This is a bad idea. But my ice cube there, it's formed like a capital I shape. It's weird. Like a TIE fighter. Why? Why are people giving the Associated Press money via their super chats? And also because YouTube takes a sizable cut of super chats. And so you could just like give directly to, yeah, this is the Associated Press. There's the ball. There is the ball. Look right there. That is the ball. People giving super chats. Dude, like, stop giving super chats. I should just type in the chat, dude, give super chats to It's probably because everybody's tipsy-turvy. Got a cherry. Sorry if you can hear me eating. I'm gonna grab a beverage so we have it for New Year's. So I'll be right back. I'll put it in the chat. I know nobody's here. This is like the saddest New Year's celebration. But yeah, I'll be right back. All right, had to get the hat. Had to get the hat to watch this by myself. Oh, I need a glass. 1 second. You guys heard it. You guys heard it. Hey, what's up? I just opened up a little bottle and enjoying myself by myself a little bit. Welcome to say Happy New Year in the chat. Just watching this, so I'm going to go back to reviewing the channel. I had just gone over live streams. I'm going to go over videos. So a lot of videos to go over in the year. I'll be doing that for the next hour before midnight where I'm at in the Midwest. Loud work. Yeah, Happy New Year. Thanks for joining. I appreciate it. I assume you got other stuff going on, so no worries if you can't stick around. This is, I don't have plans. I'm excited to play Resident Evil 2 tomorrow. That's pretty much my plans. But yeah, it looks like we got like less than a minute. So I'm going to pour this. And then, yeah, I'm not sure. Let's see. Got to make sure to not spill with all the electronics that I have around me. I got about 45 seconds before midnight. So yeah, loud work. Happy New Year. I hope one part of the level. And it wasn't a copyright strike or anything, but I wasn't able to monetize the video until I had YouTube find the volume or whatever and mute it there. Find the clip and mute it. And yeah, so I don't know. That's something that by live streaming more, I'll experiment with that more. And like this New Year's Eve coverage, this is me experimenting doing a live stream of something else that's also going on live. And so like if I don't have any issues with this, it's like, okay, I know like the Associate Press is probably cool, but I mean, since you are saying that though, I can try it and we could see, and this could be part of that experiment as well. And so let's see, I am just going to turn off, I got to turn off the sound for the PS5. And so I'm going to do that so it will be silent. And then I'll come back over here. That'll be what I just did will not be a copyright strike, but just the fact they're like playing Frank Sinatra, whatever music they're playing, they have the rights to it and I don't. And so, yeah, that from my understanding of it, that will be a problem. But like one of the things that's also cool about playing the games is, the music is fine. It's like I bought the game and therefore then, I can stream it or something. I don't really know how the legality of that works. But this is just a level in Astrobot where I just start it and it just plays. Like if we could look over at Astrobot right now, we could just flip over to it. He's just taking a nap. But yeah, the music's fun there for that level. And, oh, it actually, yeah, I flipped over to it. So you guys see it. Can you play set? Yeah, no, I responded about the copyright. Yeah, so that's something that, because like if I stream like another YouTuber, that's like, really it helps to promote them. So it works out. Because like, even though like I'm a small channel, so I don't really have that much of an impact. But yeah, I mean, that's something that like also like watching Asmongold has given me more ideas about the channel, because he's just like such a successful streamer. And like, I don't really have an interest in going over to Twitch, especially with all the controversy over there. And I am intrigued by Kick, but I think Kick is like, you have to pay for a subscription, like I believe to a channel, and also like doing a multi-stream. I don't know how to do that. So that is something that I will try to learn in the new year, because I think like you can't do it directly with OBS, but you can have plugins, I guess, so you can do that. And I think this is an ad. No, I don't know. No, this is just a reflection of things that have happened, I guess, or maybe it is an ad. But yeah, I forget what I was saying. But yeah, just like I've been trying to like watch different content and learn from them. Like always, like subscribing to new channels to see what other people are doing, and like most of it, like I can't end up watching just because there isn't enough time. But it's just like just seeing thumbnails that people do, how quickly they respond to something that's going on. And that's something that like not next month, because well, next month, I mean, it's technically next month already, but like in February, Resident Evil Requiem comes out. And so like, you guys know I like Resident Evil games. And so it'd be cool to play them in sequence. But if a Resident Evil Requiem is coming out, people might want to tune into that to stream. And then so that could be a nice way to play a type of game that I like a lot, Resident Evil games, stream to make content for the channel that would also have clips of analysis, and then and also be experimenting with, well, is that even something that's that popular? Because like my Resident Evil streams aren't that popular, but that's fine because I'm just having fun doing it. So it's like I could have fun and play the game off stream, or I could have the fun and play the game on stream while also creating some content for analysis and stuff. Yeah, but I think it's also like I don't spend enough time editing. And I think that's a big part, especially like with the way that I speak. I think sometimes the way that I speak can be very like beneficial, especially if like English is not somebody's first language, because I think I like the pacing of my speech, I think can be helpful. Like right now I'm like slowly talking because I'm thinking. That might also be because I'm thinking about what I'm talking about. But yeah, I mean, I say a lot. I say like there are phrases that I say pretty frequently. Hey, and I think Astrobot legit went to sleep. And so no signal. Come on, man. Let's get that. Yeah, so I'm using Elgato to connect. I guess. Got to reconnect that, so we'll get some. There we go. I heard the beep. You guys might have heard the beep. Turning the PlayStation on. And then maybe I'll go to a different level so we can have different kind of music. But I went to Aztec, which I felt like that was like less party music, less appropriate for New Year's. Oh, okay, so I'm back here. Yeah, so maybe what I do want to do is go to a different level, so we can just have a different kind of music for after. I mean, I don't know what the ice cream level music is like, and so let's see what that's like. I think this could be okay for some. I don't know. I think we could do better. It's like I don't know. I think this construction level has some good music. Because it's kind of like, I feel like it's hip hop themed or something, or. This has a beat. Yeah. Actually, it's like minor. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. Yeah, it's New York. Different, yeah. One of the things that I find crazy is like people are giving super chats to the Associated Press. It's like, why? That seems insane to me. I'm gonna go to a different song. I don't like this song. Yeah, it's got like the minor key. It's off-putting, offset. So let's see. Yeah, I think some of these had some pretty cool level sounds. Let's go to music for this one. See what this is like. Oh. Did I ever get into Magic the Gathering? That's my game. No, I haven't. I think maybe like I played it once. But no, like I got into Pokemon for like a couple months. I think that this music is not right for the tone or the celebration. But let's see. This has a really weird music. I think this one's pretty cool. But yeah, there's actually a guy that I work with that is like pretty big into Magic. Like I thought he was into cards and therefore would be like into Pokemon, but it's like he doesn't care about Pokemon. He cares just about Magic the Gathering as far as I understand. Let's see. Okay, let's see how this song progresses. Let's leave it there. And yeah, do you trade Magic the Gathering at all for money, or is that just for playing? Like you play that with your buddies, like, and also, are you into Dungeons and Dragons? I've not been into that. I don't know how to do that, but it's like pretty cool how it's like this social communal thing, and yeah. So I don't know. I'm like. I feel like my interest, I guess, with cards, specifically Pokemon, is just for trading them. Like I pulled a card today for $25 that was worth 100, and so it's like that's pretty cool. But most of the cards that I pull are worth less than what I pay for them. And I was thinking that the other level. Let's see, there's another chat that will pop up in a second. Yeah, Magic is all consuming. No need for any other card game. Cool. Yeah, because like, how long has Magic been going on for? Like 20 years or so? All consuming. Yeah, I read it correctly. I think it's a little bit of this and just I knew what you were saying there. Maybe I could actually go to his home planet. Maybe there's good music there, because I felt like the music from this game makes for good clips. But maybe that was also just like, hey, there's music in the background. I'm not thinking about it. I had a good thing at the first planet. Because this will be like too western. We can leave it here for a little bit. Over 30 years. Been playing since 96. Cool. Is it like the same group of friends that you play that with? Because that's like one of the things too, like, I mean, just like with the thumbnail for this video, it's just like, what are the things that like, I feel like I've been told I shouldn't do because I'm an adult now, but it's like, why not? Why not? Like, if those are things that make me happy, I mean, like, because I'm like constantly working on stuff, whether it's on the channel, whether it's like, I've got a house that I'm constantly working on, siding, sanding, all this stuff, painting. I hate it, but at the same time, I love it too. I like working on that stuff, and it's like, why aren't we embracing the things that guys enjoy, whether it's for their own selfish enjoyment or if it's for just like, for me personally, I don't like working out. I don't like going to the gym, but I love working with my hands. Like, it's tough for me to get started working with my hands. Like, I'd rather be relaxing, but once I get going, it's just like, there's nothing better than like being sore from working your ass off. Only play online now. Magic the Gathering Arena. Cool. I actually saw, I got these like, making the camera move there a little bit. I got these things with Pokemon cards. I don't know if I should reveal the code or whatever, but these things came with a couple of the Pokemon packs that I got. And it's for like a Pokemon arena. And I'm just like, man, I don't care. I think especially like Magic the Gathering, it's a little bit different, but like Pokemon is like more targeted towards kids. So it's like, I don't want to do any of that. But yeah, of the physical cards that I pulled, I think I got one that's worth like $150. And so I'm going to send that to PSA to have it graded, which is going to cost me like $30 to send it out, something like that. Maybe it's $20, $25. But I send it out through GameStop. It gets graded. And then I can have PSA put it in their vault, and then I can sell it on power packs. And it's like I bought it in a pack that had a graded card and 2 booster packs. And then if I sell that, and that cost me $100. And then if I sell it for like $150 after shipping for $30 or whatever, then it's like that paid for itself. It was work, but at the same time it was also content. So, and also just kind of like exploring the trading card economy. But yeah, I mean, but also I don't have, I mean, there's this guy that I work with, but at the same time, this guy that I work with, he's nice, but he's going out with this girl who's like really cool. And so it's like, I just want to like stay away. I don't want to cause any problems, but yeah, I don't know. And also like, yeah, I need to distance myself from both of those people. Yeah, because it's like I become friends with him, but then it's like his girl's cool. And it's like, no, I don't want to do that. It's like one of the nice things about getting older, I guess, is like appreciating your weaknesses. And like my weaknesses, I'm going to make it's not that I'll make a bad decision, but it's like, oh, that's the rule. That's the guideline. I don't care. And yeah, so boundaries are good. But yeah, there was this guy at work, nice guy. But I just think that if he knew about the content that I create, I feel like it would either encourage bad tendencies or whatever. Oh, the switch always on. All right, so I guess their streams ended. And so with that being said, LGBT stuff going crazy there in the chat. So I went through the live streams, and so now I might just look back on the videos that I've done over the past year and kind of see the path of them. And I mean, you see it right there, AMC. I'm not talking about them anymore, and I think it's kind of just like a breakup. You know, just don't talk to her anymore. And so I'm still holding what I hold, and also Luminar as well. I'm not still holding what I held. But I stopped talking about that a while ago and made my case for why I think. But we'll go over that in the videos. But yeah, what you're saying here is the overarching story of Magic is awesome because they add characters and new worlds every year. Cool. Yeah, I think that's like, and how have they been regarding like the message and all of that? Because I feel like I've appreciated this from, so like watching Asmongold, he introduced me to the Critical Drinker, and like I love movies, but I just like haven't been drawn to the theaters lately because it's just like it's too much CGI. There's not enough character plot development, and they're like 3 hours long. I don't really want to go to them. But I've like gotten exposed to like all these other channels because of him, and like the critique of whether it's movies or also the gaming industry, especially how that's changed, because like this was just coming out like yesterday or the day before about how James Bond 007 First Light, it's like this new reimagined James Bond, so it's like effectively they recast him in the movie. But it's this video game where it's this younger James Bond and it's more modern, and it seemed like it was just like, okay, it's like James Bond, but in like 2025, and he's this like slick, young, handsome guy, all this stuff. But then they reveal all of the supporting cast, and the director of it is like, well, you know, he used to be like this womanizer and all this stuff, but we're not going to do that anymore because we want him, because that doesn't really fit in, you know, today's culture or whatever. And it's just like, that's what James Bond is. James Bond is, you know, all of these things that like men like. And it's like, I don't know if you're in a relationship or I'm not, but so I can't really necessarily say with too much, at least firsthand experience right now, but just from like prior relationships, it's like, actually, no, I mean, I haven't even really been in like serious enough relationships for it to be like this, but I feel like there's a tendency when a woman does something, she has girls' night out, it's just like, okay, you do that, you're doing girls' night out, that's cool. But then a guy does something with his buddies and she's like, what are you doing? And it's like, guys are being stupid. Guys are just talking about whatever they're talking about. And like, if there is a game or a movie, a genre that is more targeted towards men, it's like, that's great. Let men do their thing. Yeah, like toxic masculinity. I feel like that's been such a detrimental thing because, like, I don't know when that term was first introduced. I believe around Harvey Weinstein, but it's like, because there's one guy who's a piece of crap, all guys are pieces of crap, and we need them to not be that way. And it's like, no, like most guys are good. There's some bad eggs and some completely rotten eggs. We need the good guys to show up, be themselves. And sure, they're going to have some bad tendencies, fart jokes, boobs, butts, whatever. And that's fine. Let them be them. And so, like, a lot of games, like this James Bond thing, have shifted away from womanizer, smooth guy, whatever, to appease modern audiences. But the problem is that drives away the core audience, like Star Wars, stuff like that. And then it's like the community's just like left vacant. And also like with Stranger Things, with The Last of Us, I feel like The Last of Us is kind of like an all-encompassing like embodiment of that, where it's like this really great, empowering story from the first season, or the first volume, or whatever they're called, first part. But then the second part is just like, why? Why did you do this? To punish people who loved what you created initially? And the, I'm going to be a dad. Yeah, just what messaging are you saying? And then also, I think this was pointed out by either Nerdrotic or Critical Drinker, about how Will Byers from Stranger Things was possessed by a demon and then ended up being gay, and in order to overcome this other demon, he had to embrace his gayness. And it's like, I feel like that's kind of sending the wrong message in a like subtle roundabout way or something. Like, it's not sending the message that you think it's sending. And also, like, people aren't watching Stranger Things for that. And I think in season 4 they did a really good job in the discussion or the confrontation that Will had with Mike about him being gay, but then they did it just like way more in season 5, from what I understand. I don't have Netflix, so I haven't watched it. Anyway, somebody had just tuned in. I saw concurrent viewer count go up to 2, and then it's like I'm talking about stuff and they just leave. But yeah, I might just kind of ramble on about the videos that I went over the past year. I don't know if that's cool with you. But yeah, I guess, I mean, what I was alluding to with that, I guess I'm curious, how has Magic changed regarding that? Because I feel like so many franchises have kind of been destroyed by wanting to be more inclusive of a broader audience, but it's like, but that audience that they wanted to be inclusive of was never there in the first place. And so you're not going to bring them in by pandering to them. They're just not interested. You're going to be pushing away the core fans. So it sounds like Magic has done a good job in sticking to their roots and ignoring that stuff. So it sounds like a good game. But yeah, I'm gonna go over some of this stuff. And so when I'm over here, I'm not as exposed to the chat, but I'll try to check in on it. But yeah, this was the Happy New Year from a year ago. Just saying thank you at the start of the year. And then I put out this little bit and also asking Grok about the future. Grok's 2025 outlook on stock market, Bitcoin, crypto, and memes. And so this was actually funny. I had long hair, but I had shaved. But if you look at, I think this video, I had noticed I had a mustache. If I hover over it, it should give a little preview. Why isn't it giving a preview? Yeah, you can see I had a big mustache and long hair. Gosh, it's funny. Go for it. Just having a beer, playing it now. Cool, cool. Should start streaming my games. Oh yeah, I mean, and like, what, like, as far as YouTube goes and stuff, it's like, just get into a rhythm. Do what works for you. Because this is my third channel, and it's just been like fumbling with other stuff that didn't work, because it was like I wanted to focus on let's see, I was doing oceanography and field work and wanted to document that and communicate climate science, not climate change science, just understanding how the climate system works. But it's like, the people who are interested in those topics are too good for YouTube, and the people who actually tune into YouTube aren't interested in those topics because they feel like it's somebody like from academia or whatever, this place of their own self-assigned, authority, talking down to viewers. And it's like, I wasn't trying to do that, but I wasn't doing that. But because of it, I was like missing out on like all of the audience. And so that failed. And then I started doing a little bit of like home improvement thing, but that was really just like for before and after photos effectively. I have before photos now, thanks to that channel, but I don't create content for it. And then I started this one kind of following a breakup. And just like, well, I'm going to just make videos for myself about like just going over my analysis. And like, rather than I should look at charts every day and do my analysis, like, well, I'll just make videos on it so that I hold myself accountable to actually do that analysis. And that kind of took off. And then I just like really leaned into it. A couple years ago in February, it's like, well, February's only got 28 days. So if I was going to spend an entire month making like 4 videos a day, I should do that in February. So I did that in February, where it's just like every day after work, I'd come home, I'd analyze 4 charts, for the most part, probably incorrectly, but through doing that and the consistency, I got more views, more subscribers, and then was able to monetize. But like at this point with my monetization, it's like at most I make $100 a month effectively. And the way that you get that payout is you have to cross $100. So like if, let's say, like in December I crossed $100, so I'll get paid in January. But the prior few months, I was like at 30, 60, almost 100, now over 100. So then I'll get paid in January. But when it's like the month that you only make 30 on YouTube, that then just rolls into the next month. And then once you cross 100, you get paid. So it's like kind of tough to get into actually making money on it, because you have to be consistent, and doing that around work is really tough. Doing that around social life is really tough. And I think like Mr. Beast has talked about how when he was growing his channel, it was just like he was very socially awkward, all this stuff, because he just spent all of his time online and didn't like interact with people in real life much. And so like I'm kind of finding myself in that situation now, but it's like, I mean, it's fine. Like I'm just, that's what I have to do here. I don't live in like a big city or anything. There's not a lot to do. So the channel's really good for me in that sense. But yeah, I mean, like once you figure out, or if you want to do that, it's just like, I just view it as documenting, and like I hate editing. But if I were to leave my job and focus on YouTube full time, I'd spend more time editing for sure, because I'd want to get more views, more clicks, and more retains of viewers as subscribers, or just people watching the full video, rather than just until I say the first time. And I think a lot of it too is like everybody has different, ways that they speak. Some people are very good at it, or very distinct at how they do it, whether they're good or bad. And one of the things that I really appreciated or was frustrated with in going to conferences for like academic conferences, or going to conferences for academic conferences, is that people would have, 15-minute slots to give a presentation on the research, but they needed to give 12-minute talks, so they'd have 3 minutes for questions. But they would just cram so much into every single slide. They wouldn't explain stuff. And so what I found that I really liked doing, being at universities, was I really liked trying to figure out, I understand this, but how do I get somebody to understand this who has no idea what I'm talking about? Acronyms, people don't explain them. You've got to break them down every single time. And so like I try to do that, and I tried to bring that into my like ticker analysis. And I think that I'm effective in that way, but at the same time, I think that there are ways, whether accomplished via editing or improving my speech patterns. And that stuff comes with time and practice and stuff. But yeah, I'm going to scroll through some of these videos. And I do see your chat over on my little laptop, so I'll see it if you got stuff to say. But yeah, I started the year having more fun with AI thumbnails. Unity and GameStop. Bronx Viking just put out a post about how Unity outperformed GameStop this past year, and that's totally fine. And then just people viewing like AMC saying, oh, GameStop's a distraction, or GameStop saying, oh, this other thing, Unity's a distraction. It's like, it's a stock market. There's no such thing. I had fun making that thumbnail. But yeah, and then also, this idea of like asking Grok about the future. And I think Grok's analysis, which was really fed by my analysis, like my prompts, was that things would go higher. And, I was right about like the stock market, gold, Nvidia and stuff like that, but not about crypto. But I think that might be coming in 2026 along with small caps. So that'll be great. And speaking of small caps, or, non-desirables, I got this, I'm going to actually scroll that to the bottom so we have more stuff up here. But this one, on AMC, my 2-month AMC thesis, 286 views. And that was just like, I'm going to stop making content on chart analysis, because a week later or so, I did a more AMC video. But it was just like, I think AMC is a dud at that point. And so I put out the thesis, just laying it out. Excuse me. But then, yeah, like a week later, I tried to just like, rather than focusing on the chart, I'm going to do some due diligence. I'm going to dive into AMC as far as dilution and the APE, AMC preferred equity shares go. And it's insane how AMC shareholders did not vote on dilution. They voted against it. But Adam Aron needed money to run the company, and since he couldn't get it via dilution, he introduced APEs, which I felt like was a manipulative way of diluting, but he did it. And yeah, it's like, well, maybe I don't know what I'm talking about, so I'll just give him the benefit of the doubt, all of that. And it just ended up just like plummeting the stock value unbelievably. And that was really like, I'm done with AMC at that time, but then it slowly pulled me back in. And so right now I'm at the point where I'm not really going to do any more AMC content. And I had gotten to that point with Luminar, which I think was following kind of like a YouTuber put out a video comparing Luminar to Tesla self-driving, but they were actually comparing it against autopilot, and it was just very misleading, and it just seemed like super sketchy. And also learning about, like, I mean, if you wanted to like have a map of where you're going, LiDAR seems like it's a better platform for it, a better mapping tool than just like cameras. But then I attended like the annual shareholder meeting for Tesla last year, and it was just like, well, it's not just cameras, it's the AI behind the cameras, and that's advanced so much that it's basically better than LiDAR because it's not so data intensive. And that's why you see I forget what they're called, they're forgettable, the cars in like San Francisco and stuff, they're always like stuck in traffic or struggling to navigate around ambulances and stuff. And so it's like, I see that. I'd rather, and also that's kind of why I veered away from ChargePoint, because it's like, well, I mean, Tesla is like the all-in-one, and Elon, I love it. I'll go with that. And so, yeah, I mean, so that was kind of like the start of 2025 for me. And also kind of putting a close to the highly regarded option theses. Made some money on a couple of those, but lost money on the majority of them. But, it was a learning experience. I learned a lot about options from that, from using data from unusual whales and then trying to replicate that from not unusual whales helped me. Like doing the calculations that result in the data that you get from unusual whales, it's like, that makes a lot more sense. But at the same time, I don't have the capacity and the resources to do that. So I'd rather just pay for unusual whales. But now I understand it better. And then, yeah, I mean, S&P 500, I'm not sure what I was saying in that. But then this is kind of like a personal tangent for me. With the channel, my take on the LA fires and neglecting mitigation strategies. Got 6-7 views, so maybe that's a good sign. But that was really frustrating for me because, like I come from a background of understanding how the climate system works and how climate change, I would say, fits into that. There are aspects that are influenced by humans and other aspects that are natural. And what I realized with the LA fires is I was pointing out, like in my personal circle, some of the issues with it and how a lot of that stuff could have been avoided. But instead of it being avoided, you'd see Bernie Sanders come out and say, see, climate change is real. And it's like, well, yeah, I mean, but if you're the party that believes climate change is real and there's a disaster that happens in a Democratic-led state or Democrat majority state, then you shouldn't have a devastation there. And they just had this devastation. And then it's like, it's used as a talking point or it's used as an agenda. So there's like climate change, what is happening, and then climate change, the agenda. And it's like, this whole thing was used to push that agenda. And it's like, that's exactly, like, you guys should have managed this before it happened. It should have never been a problem. And so that really upset me. Also, I have some family in LA, and to be honest, I'm not talking with the family that's in LA anymore, because, I mean, for me, it's like, one of the things that I'm the youngest child, and I've always been like kind of talked down to. In my family, I'm one of the highest educated people, have a lot of experiences. I like, not that this is important, but there are different experiences that are going to give you different perspectives. And if you have different experience, a unique experience, you're going to have a unique perspective. And like, I've been to Antarctica multiple times. I've been to the North Pole actually multiple times, and worked in Italy. I've been around the globe a good amount. And with that, yeah, like, there aren't that many people for me to relate to. And in the experiences that I've had, you know, it's like, this was just very frustrating, because it's like everything that I had gotten my education in was being used to push an agenda rather than to solve problems. Whereas you see people like Elon Musk actually solving problems, having his vehicles car bombed and stuff, or whatever, or firebombed, I guess I should say. And so that was just like really frustrating for me on many levels. And yeah, I don't know, that was kind of a sour start to the new year, going over AMC dilution, head shoulders pattern. And this, I think, was like a head and shoulders pattern, but then it became a WTF pattern, which broke out to the upside. Highly regarded option theses, week 11. I'm not sure how many times I did that. And then scrolling up, I guess this is kind of getting to the point where I was getting tired of using AI for thumbnails to some extent. GameStop, always fun. I feel like GameStop, for me, it's like, GameStop's something that I personally want to participate in. And I imagine, like, I'm not sure if you do anything with Magic the Gathering via GameStop, but the fact that they've kind of pivoted into trading cards, I think is just really smart. And also, they create, I like going to the GameStop, you know? I was going to say Game Store or GameStop, and I just said GameStop. It's like, well, that's what it is. But yeah, I mean, I feel like there's value there. Whereas AMC, the value is just like, I'd rather be at home streaming a game or watching content on my computer, on my phone, on my TV, than going to a 3-hour plus movie that has half an hour of trailers. That's overpriced. Food's overpriced. I have to be around loud, annoying people who are on their phones or whatever. I have to drive to get there. All this stuff, you know? So it's like, it's not as appealing as it used to be. Critical Drinker did a video on that. But yeah, volatility index, UVIX. I'm still holding my UVIX position, which is down a lot. And I like trimmed some when it was at 12, but now it's like at sub 6. And it's like, man, I should have just sold all when I was there. And I kind of knew that. But it's like, I'm just going to hold. I'm just going to see. Because I don't want to like sell it all and then it goes higher. And then it's like, I want to buy more. And then you buy the top, you know, that type of thing. So yeah, but then continuing on, volatility index, Bitcoin, and Neo over here. Neo's always popular. 187 views, not too many there. But this was like, I think at a time when like Neo would have bumps and then dumps. And Petco, that was a request. AMC, more DD. Fewer views, I think, than I had before. Let's see. That one, 114. This one, 173. But just like a really long video of me like deep diving into stuff. I had fun with these thumbnails. Yeah, Intel, people weren't watching it though, less than 100 views. That was a good analysis. I should have stuck to it. Going over Intel options, data, and chart, but this is like bears are running away. And so it's like they're still running away. But yeah, I ended up selling like a few weeks before Intel really gapped up. But that's how it goes. Mara, I still have a position. But yeah, I mean, I still think that it could be going a lot higher. It's just taking its time. Stonks, pre-market prep. I was still doing, oh yeah, I was doing pre-market preps. But I think I'd stream it and then release it as a video. Or maybe I just released them. I think I might have just released those as videos. I'm not sure. Be having fun with the AI. 13, still doing it. No longer got a mustache. That's kind of crazy there. Wolf Speed, I think that one might have gone delisted or bankrupt or had some risk of it. I'm not sure. The Interstellar, I was in this Interstellar vibe. I love that movie. Pre-market prep, Pacific Bio. This might have been a request, or I'm not really sure. Kind of weird. 1, 2, 3. So that's interesting views. Options thesis week 14. And then Wolf Speed, going over that more. And Gareth Soloway was talking about Wolf Speed. I was kind of surprised by that. Unity, Rivian, QuantumScape. I wish I had held the position that I had in that, but whatever. That's how it goes. Plug, not in it anymore. Rivian, I do have one share of right now, so maybe if it goes lower, I'll accumulate more aggressively if it does go lower. Neo, GameStop, ChargePoint, not covering anymore. Does ChargePoint have Gamma Squeeze potential? Asking a question. And if I do ask a question, like if I have a title that has a question, it's like, I'm just going to mute myself so I clear my throat. Hopefully that worked. I was using the hotkeys that I set up in OBS. But, yeah, if I put a question marks in a thumbnail, it's like, legit, I don't know. I'm not presenting a thesis. I'm presenting a hypothesis that still needs further testing. Intel, you know, bulls have arrived to the Intel party. I should have just held. Only 30 views, though. So it's like, yeah, like, that's one of the things I don't like about YouTube is like something that's like where I'm spot on with something. It doesn't get that many views because it's boring and it's low. But the thesis is there. Everything is all set up perfectly. And yeah, doesn't happen. This might have been around the Tim Walls episode where he's talking about if you need a boost. Airship, that was on surveillance, Borders, Walgreens. I think that they might not be listed anymore. Buying the dip on Unity. Highcroft, they've been a great performer. I wish I had a position. But, I mean, I wish I had sold all my AMC and bought Bitcoin and Highcroft, basically, with it. But yeah, Rivian Flip Bullish, Pre-Market Prep, Celsius and Plug. I love this graphic of that guy. That's one of my favorites that I've created. Apparently the image is broken or something. That's kind of funny. Soundhound AI though. Usual Whales, I was trying to get more into chart and options data and just like presenting that, but only 46 views. So why would I do that? Neo, breakout, finally ready to jump? No, not yet. Luminar, pullback before breakout. This is 10 months ago. Okay, and so natural gas, I kind of stopped going over natural gas and I stopped watching Gareth Soloway because I recognized that he was like too short term, that like I had learned a lot of technical analysis from him, but it's just like he'd be like, you know, talking about it being a good time to short natural gas. It's like, okay, I see that, but then something changed and then it's like, oh, I exited my short. This also might have been one where I got some backlash for the thumbnail. Red paint. That's a pretty only 30 views though. Dude. 10 months ago. Let's look back. Where was Intel 10 months ago? So that would have been like February. Over here. So it did go lower. But yeah, that went up from the, let's say from the lows here. 132%. So I guess that's not that insane. Hymns, time to short hymns. I think I was spot on with that, but only got 33 views. So it's like, if I do a video that I think is spot on, and it doesn't get very many views, I'm probably right. Luminar, bankrupt, pull back before breakout. That got more views than this one. I was wrong with that one. Pre-market prep, gamma squeeze for Unity and Celsius. I think I made some. I did make some money on Celsius, but I don't have a position anymore. I'm having some more fun with the AI images. SoundHound. That's a cool thumbnail to make. AI as a creator is such a useful tool because it's just like, you know, I want to create something of like the Night King stabbing a dragon, you know, with his ice blade. And I can't draw that. I don't have the time to create something like this, but I can give it to AI for a prompt, you know, or I make one by taking clip art basically, or like clips or images from the internet, and I just turn them into this. And, you know, it's not as good. You know, this is like where creativity can shine. The ape, the bull, the bear battling. That's a pretty cool thumbnail in my opinion. Neo, the dip before the rip. I was doing like Neo themes. Nope. But I think pretty soon. I think Neo's got to go down to 4, to be honest. SoundHound, that's a pretty good one. Absolutely. I mess around with it when I can with AI and stuff. Yeah, like I feel like I use it a lot for image generation, but it just like if I'm casually like, oh, I'm curious about, like, I was looking up a person, I forget who, James Lavish, and he's a hedge fund manager and investor, all this stuff. Smart guy. He's on Macro Mondays with Scott Milker, the Wolf of All Streets, and I wanted to make a pun response to him, so I used AI to basically look up would the pun make sense, and it's like, no, it wouldn't, so I didn't respond. But yeah, quick way to learn about stuff. I've learned about like what games would be popular to stream, stuff like that. For technical analysis, I don't think it's as good. But yeah, like scrolling back in time here, these thumbnails. And actually, Lucid is one that I should probably add to my list. So I'm just going to add it to TRL while it's on my mind. I guess this is the way my mind works, which is maybe problematic. But Lucid, that's on the NASDAQ. And I'm just curious to look at that chart. That is bleeding hard. Yeah, but maybe that's one that I want to watch. So I'm going to put it on the list over here, probably around Tesla and Neo, which Tesla's over here, Rocket Lab, Neo, Rivian, and I'm thinking about Lucid, so L would be before Neo. And so that's going to be NASDAQ. And I am doing Lucid. Dude, I had Lucid before it was Lucid. I think it was like CCIV. I made a lot of money with that. And fun fact, if you look at the bars that are behind Ed up here, that is Lucid stock. I made some money on that. It was my best performing trade for a while. And I can actually, it's probably, I think Unity has topped it. Or my best performing stock, I should say. So it's not like an individual trade. But yeah, let's just look at my P&L. What have been my best performing tickers in my portfolio? Okay, so I think I want to do... I'm just looking at this on my phone. Not year to date. Because year to date, we got 6 minutes before the Midwest ends. Unity software has been, wow, I did really good with that. I made more than double with Unity software than I did with Lucid. That's actually a really, you know, it makes me feel really good to see that, because I had a lot of conviction or I started exploring Unity software before others like the Bronx Viking were really covering it. And through his analysis, I started to have more conviction in my analysis, got into some options, and I could have made more money with them, but at the same time, I made money with them. Whereas others, I could have sold and made money, but I didn't. I was greedy and I ended up losing money. So that's a really interesting thing to look back on. This is for all of my trading, not just over the past year. But yeah, Unity software is my best performer. But I'm sure 2026 I'm gonna have ones that beat that. Rocket Lab, that was one that when the channel was pretty small, I covered it pretty frequently. But then, yeah, I mean, this 41 views. And I actually had done a live stream during a Rocket Lab earnings call. And I was trying to find one of the documents on their investor relations page. And I was having a hard time finding it. And somebody like bashed me in the chat for having a hard time finding it. And it's just like, for me personally, aside from that, I don't like streaming earnings calls just because I think earnings calls are boring. Like I just space out during them. And yeah, like it's for me personally, it's just not stuff that I care about that much, unless it's like a Tesla thing. I find that really interesting. If Elon's talking, just trying to understand the technology that they're working on, I think that's really cool. But for Rocket Lab, I mean, it's like they're building rockets and stuff. It is rocket science, but it's not like what Tesla's doing, you know, or what Elon's doing. But anyways, that bash for me in the stream was just like, look, I'm done. And I like ended the stream. But yeah, 41 views. This is of course a video, not a stream, but and this might have actually been in response to that fumble there. But I mean, creating content's so much work. I enjoy it, but at the same time, if it's like, if I do it and people don't show up, that's fine. But if I do it and people show up and like one person insults you, if one person says something mean, it's like, that stings. And people say this all the time, like, don't check the comments. I like checking the comments and I like responding to the comments. So, you know, it's like, I mean, like, I'm just another person on the internet trying to understand this, but also just to give follow-up perspective, whatever. And also to engage with you guys, understand what you're thinking, what's going on with you guys. So yeah, I mean, like, if I get bothered by comments, it can be kind of tough, or bothered by just people being negative Nancy's. Like, why do you have to go online and be negative? It's like, you just don't say anything. Oh, we got 2 minutes before midnight here where I'm at in Iowa in the Midwest. But I don't think there's anything going on, because the Midwest is boring. But yeah, we got a minute and 30 seconds left. So I might continue on with this chat. My 2-month AMC Theaters Thesis Part 2. So I did a follow-up on that. Mara, that's been kind of a dud. Pre-market prep, still doing that. Oh yeah, these were like videos, I guess. It's weird to look back and see me with shorter hair. By the way, I'm going to cut my hair pretty soon. I might end up buzzing my head, because whenever I go get my hair cut, I'm unhappy with it. And it's just getting too long. And it's like, it's curly all around, but like flat in the back. So I think I look kind of weird when I have long hair. But yeah, seeing those images of me with a mustache, maybe I want to grow it back. I don't know. AMC, 291 strong, 291 wrong, is more like it. This was just a channel update. This is like the default from the OG days of the channel. And yeah, so I might do, let's see, Midwest clock. Let's see what this is. All right, let's check this out. It's so funny. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year, everybody, from where I am at in Iowa, in the Midwest. Happy New Year. We are now I am now in 2026. And so far, the grass is greener. The grass is so much greener over here. And so I hope that you guys are looking forward to the great year that is coming ahead. It's going to be awesome. And just to put it in perspective, we've got sunrise coming. We've got sunrise coming. Skies are going to be blue. Grass is going to be green. And our portfolios are going to be green as well. So yeah, I just wanted to share that during the stream, kind of a random pull-up. I might release this as a clip. I hope you guys do enjoy, and I am excited for the new year with you guys. Subscribe to the channel if you want to casually watch gameplay. Subscribe to the channel if you want to get periodic, likely 2 per day, ticker analyses. And to continue to try to grow, to continue to try and make the channel, the content, all of the above better. I appreciate all of you being here, and thank you for that. And that's a nice little clip there. Yeah, loud work. New Year's, we have completed 2025. Oh man, and looking back, I feel like every New Year's moving forward is going to be relative to like, man, 2020 sucked. Man, like my career ended because of 2020, or I ended my career because of 2020, because it's just like, it's a competitive marketplace. I'm falling behind because of whatever stuff, whether it's my own stuff, professional, whatever, all of the above. And then like I was getting like, there was this, I think because we were all at home during 2020, there was this thing, DEI stuff. And it's just like, white privilege. And, just like, yeah, there is underrepresentation of women, people of color, diverse backgrounds, whatever, in academia. And so I was just like, yeah, I mean, that's just going to make me getting a job harder. I agree that there should be more diversity, but I don't think that should come about by screwing over hardworking people who have earned their place with their hard work. But at the same time, I had kind of fallen behind, so I didn't feel like I was competitive. So it's like, I'm going to peace out. I'm going to try to focus on YouTube. That channel failed. Pretty much everybody that I used to work with, I haven't heard from in over a year. And but to be honest, I think that if they knew who I was today, they wouldn't like me. It's like, I mean, I'm just a guy trying to figure it out. And it's like they'd look down upon me, or I've come from a more liberal background, but at the same time, or not at the same time, now I'm more centrist, but I'd say I lean more right. And I think people would just think I'm a bigot because of that or something. It's like, yeah, I mean, like what's going on in Minnesota right now, I don't know how you feel about it, but it's just like, yeah, I mean, there are some bad actors. It doesn't matter on what side they are on, they're just bad actors. You're going to get screwed over unless you stand up for yourself. And so I've kind of been standing up for myself really since the pandemic. And I think ultimately it's really just like screwed me over in a lot of ways. But at least I am who I am, and I'm proud of myself. And I think that's worth more than, all this other stuff. Than finding out, to be honest, I turned 40 in January. And it's like, I expected to be in a much different place in my life. My dad was 40 when he had me, or when my parents had me. And I'm the youngest kid. And so it's like, it's weird hitting 40 because different generation, but I feel like this generation's been screwed over in a lot of ways, but in different ways, in like a variety of ways. So it's like there's not one pivotal thing, but at the same time, I mean, I was in high school during 9/11, and that's like shaped the way the world is. So like we grew up in a different world. Whether it's better or worse, it's just very different, and not appreciating that, I think is something that I feel like I've experienced a lot of other people not appreciating it. And like, I don't know, the male experience. Guys don't talk about stuff. Guys talk about fart jokes. And like for me, I think I'm a fairly sentimental person, but that stuff doesn't come out because that's who we are, and there's no problem with that. But if you push me down, I'm just gonna say, okay, I don't need you anymore. Yep, Chewy plug. This, I was having fun with this Night King, creating that with AI. Neo, Gamma Squeeze, Intel, AMC gap filled. This is like me opening up the can of worms, getting back into AMC videos. Luminar fake out or breakout. This was 9 months ago. I'm very curious when my last Luminar video was. Did I just stop doing it? Neo, Unity, pre-market preps, Rivian. I'm pretty sure this thumbnail, I remember it. I nailed it. The bottom. In the video, I wasn't trading it, but I nailed it in the video. Intel to retrace before gap fill, and then I think I faded out of it. Disappointing. AMC 264, man. Yeah. Take $1 off of that. I still think this is potentially true. That they will blame us, because I think like small caps and Bitcoin will be like the last things, or small caps and crypto, I guess I should say, or more speculative plays in crypto, altcoins, shit coins, whatever you want to call them. I think those will be the last things to rally before like a bear market or a longer term correction. And then they will blame us. And that's basically going to repeat what's happened in the past. Hearing some fireworks in the background. 8 months ago, Tesla back in discount zone. I was probably buying then. I have a small position, but Nvidia, Unity Software. This was kind of inspired by the Bronx Viking. Robinhood. Wish I had held. Wish I had bought a bunch. Lithium Americas. I'm going to have a Lithium Americas clip out tomorrow. I don't have a position, but it's one that I wish I did prior to the rally. US Rare Earth. It's like I'm lagging. I'm not in on the Lithium Americas. But so like we need energy. Where do we go for energy? Okay, we get that energy. Where do we go to store energy? Lithium. Lithium miners are a play. Where do we use that energy that we store? Data centers. What do those data centers use? Rare earth. It's like it's this stair steps down. It's like Lithium Americas rallies and then rare earth. And so if I don't have a position in Lithium Americas, ticker symbol LAC, but if I get in one, then it's like, okay, this is starting to rally and rare earth still down. I have UAMI, not USAR. But if this starts to rally, then it's like, well, then this might start to rally after. So, hey, it's maybe something. Happy Easter, dude. This was like my thesis. I'm so proud of. It didn't play out. The year's over. It didn't play out. A target from 8,000, from 2,000, 2,200 down to 1,400, which was the low. So I nailed that. Up to 8,000. We haven't hit 8,000 yet. And I was expecting it by the end of the year. So we'll have to see. But I'm going to be celebrating Easter this year. I'll make a video on it. I'm excited about it. Short gold? I don't know. Right now, gold and silver, yeah, maybe, but also it could squeeze higher. Good to be cautious. And yeah, like, this next video is interesting right here. ChargePoint, Luminar plug, and Tesla, because it's like, I phased out of my ChargePoint position at a loss. I could have lost less. But I rolled that into establishing a Tesla position. And that's a position I could die holding, you know? I just have a lot of confidence in it. And also, like, I remember when I was in college, when I was graduating and about to start grad school, when I was in college in Boulder, there was a Tesla showroom. And I, at the time, had a little bit of extra cash, and I started to invest. I could have invested in Tesla and forgotten about it, you know, of course, but that's not how it works, all that. But I feel like from then, I was always intrigued by Elon, but I feel like so many people in my life always discouraged me from Tesla, from Elon, all this stuff. They were always skeptical. I didn't like that. And so it's been nice to, I don't know, push those nasty attitudes, those bad perspectives out of my life and be happy with who I am, you know? And Luminar is a dud. ChargePoint, I'm not sure. Plug, I'm not sure. They may all end up being duds. I don't think Tesla's going to be a dud. Hey, and this was after Crypto Corner Sat, or after ETH, I started Crypto Corner Sat Stacker. Only 23 views there. Doesn't get many views today. I'm not going to do any more, or not at least on a weekly basis. I'm going to do them for myself. I'm going to prepare the data for myself. But yeah, that was just like, this is my thesis and I'm going to stick to it. And I stuck to it. I was doing these pre-market preps. I guess some of them I released as videos. I think if I had to go to work and then, I guess I streamed if I didn't have to go to work, I could do them live. Bleed or bounce? The answer was bleed for AMC. Crypto Corner Sat Stacker. Hey, this is like, yeah, man, that's crazy. What was I doing in May? I was just like working on the house, I think. Yeah, but I think at this time I was getting burnt out. This was also, I mean, this is kind of a bottoming signal. When I'm getting burnt out, when a creator is getting burnt out, that could be a bottoming signal. And this was like a bottoming signal. I'm just getting burnt out. The only videos, it's like a video that I do, you know, once a week. And then the video after that, May 10th, this was shortly after, did a video on creating value. Then, hey, AMC, hang in there. It's like, no, man, I just got a haircut. I look good then. Dang it. Yeah, but then it's just like Crypto Corner Sat Stacker, Crypto Corner Sat Stacker. I was only doing, this is insane. I like legit stopped creating content for like a month. From May 17th to June 7th. And then like I had just this like ethical fork in the road video. Yeah, I was just not creating content. And to be honest, like I think this is really interesting. 6 months ago, had some stuff with my family and whatnot. Not trying to get into anything personal. I don't know if anybody's still here. Loud Work, you're still here. But yeah, I mean, this is like, basically I'm producing content that I'm like, this is like, I mean, this guy's having a tough time. And yeah, some stuff came up in my family and it's just like, I can't do it anymore. It's just, yeah, it's been a surprising year. People really get set in their, I don't know, perspectives, whatever it is. I just had some people be very insulting, dismissive of me, and I'm not tolerating it anymore. But yeah, it doesn't necessarily correlate with this. I had an interesting interaction with a mother deer, and I found some cash on a trail. And so I was just like thinking about all this stuff. And yeah. So yeah, I mean, there are signs that, you know, having a tough time. But, you know, that's life. Nothing to do with the channel or anything. It's like I had reoriented myself away from my career, and I'm still trying to figure out that path. That's fine. It's fine. I mean, if you do that, you just gotta go with it. It takes time, and I'm choosing to stick with it. I'm choosing to not be insulted by people who doubt me, or yeah, effectively that. But anyways, more crypto corner set stackers. That was something that actually kept me afloat. That's something that kept me afloat looking back here. I would have had a month-long gap in producing content. Crypto corner sat stacker kept me afloat. Neo Premium. Oh. I'm getting into some interesting stuff with Neo. This one didn't have 2,000 views. But one of them had 2,000 views. And I called that out. I like this thumbnail. Nailed this one. That was spot on. Neo getting hundreds of views. That's pretty good. But yeah, it's like Neo getting hundreds, like not like 300 views, but like nearly 1,000. That's getting close to top. Neo video performance now getting close to a bottom, I think. Had some theses out. Return of the DGen. It's like, I'm going to bring myself back. I am going to, oh, I guess, yeah, that ticker request live, I used the, this kind of thumbnail. But yeah, that was fun to create. Ed is a Jedi. Pretty cool. This was the top. This was a topping signal, man. I should have known it. Yeah, Neo just broke out. 1.6 thousand views. Hey, that's getting up there. This one didn't perform as well. Neo, because I was questioning the possibility of it going down. People didn't like that. And then I started doing like these kind of like daily Ethereum videos. Going over the strategic reserves. Initially, they didn't do that bad, but they weren't that great. This video, I was spot on, but nobody watched it. Nailed it. I nailed that one. AMC, I should have stopped covering it a year ago. Because it's just, I don't want to give people false hope. And that's one of the things that's dangerous about YouTube is because it gives you the idea, it gives you the sense that there is community and that it's okay. You made the wrong decision, it's okay. There are other people that made the wrong decision. You're okay, you're in company. It's like, no, you got to take accountability. And yeah, and so anyways, on that note, continuing on with the ETH reserves, and then I started doing GameStop stuff. This is like, yeah, I want to get into the vault, but I don't know how to do it. I think I had a video on the vault back here, maybe not. Yeah, discovering the vault, 646 views. And that was like, I want to open up power packs, but I don't know how to. I don't have beta access. So I just discovered it. I thought I'd document it. 6-minute video. And then, yeah, and then it's like, well, if I can't get access to the vault, I'm going to buy some physical cards. And so I did that, and it was fun, but it's more work than I like doing. More work than it's worth. For 36 views? No, thank you. Less than 100 views? No, thank you. Because then it's like, I have to buy cards to create that kind of content, and it's a lot of work. No, thank you. Going into the vault? Excited about that. But yeah, this is the infamous Neo video. Got 1.9 thousand views, and shortly after it, I kind of recognized, hey, Neo about to squeeze. It's got nearly 2,000 views, which is an exceptional amount for me. That strikes me as euphoria. Maybe I was calling the squeeze after it had already happened. And then so following this pullback that you can see there on the thumbnail, Neo to 550 before 10. Somebody blocked me on X for this. All of my Neo videos, if I talk about it going down, people bash me in the comments, like not that aggressively or severely or critically or whatever, but it's just like it happens. But it's like I read the comments and I respond to them, so it's draining. And it's just like, man, this is like, don't be emotional 101. I created something that I was correct on, but I was late with it. And then I realized that, and I called myself out and put this video out. And then people block me, people tell me I'm wrong, that it's going to 10. I think it went a little bit higher. But yeah, it went back to 550. It went lower to 550. It's currently lower than 550. And it's just like, yeah, I mean, I don't care. I'm not doing this for views anymore. I'm doing this for information. Because the more I focus on information, which is like, I'm streaming gameplay so I can more casually create content, so I can just get more comfortable in front of the camera, talking, whatever. Like right now, I'm just like chilling on camera. And the better I get at that, the more comfortable I am with that, the better my content could be, the more weight there will be in my analysis. You know, it's not just going to be, I'm doing this to get views. It's just going to be like, this is what it is. I don't care what you have to say. I'm comfortable in front of the camera because I spend all my time in front of the camera. I don't care what you think. Leave me alone. And like, that's basically what happened with this video. It's just like, I am burned out from people just trashing me. Like, again, not that aggressively. I'm a small account, so it's not that big of a deal. But it like stings when you're putting all this work into it. And so like, yeah, like I put out that video, and then like my next Neo video is Neo Max Pain ticks higher. So it's like one of the tells in my thumbnails. If I'm excited or bullish, Ed looks excited or bullish. If I think something might come down, Ed's gonna look concerned. Neo might come down, he looks concerned. Rocket Lab stock prime to launch, he's excited. Gamma Squeeze, excited. Down, not so excited. So that's a tell. You can see in my thumbnails. My thoughts on AMC. This is 2 months ago, and it's just like, yeah, I can't do it. But also, I guess I should note, doing these videos on power packs. You know, this is the second one. First one. Third one, I kind of got a formula for how I want to label it and stuff. And yeah, I mean, I'm going to continue to do those every week. I think they're fun. I think this is a really interesting idea, a really nice thesis. Plug power and AI, energy and AI. But I don't know that plug power, like hydrogen fuel cell power is going to be a part of that, or at least all companies in that sector are going to be a part of it. But I think energy is very, very interesting aspect of it. This Tilray one, I nailed that. It was like 2 days later, I nailed it. I wasn't in it, but Tilray went to like $2 a few days later. Only 105 views. That should have gotten 1,000 views at least, because the analysis was spot on. People don't pay attention. My thoughts on AMC. Basically, like, I don't know that I want to keep making this content anymore. But then it's like, hey, but I'll make this content if it gets me 300 views. It's more than typical. But hey, this one was a good performer. Why? I don't know. It says gold in the title. It wasn't a great video. All of my power packs. This one says 6x pull. That's better than gold. 94 views. I don't know. Having fun with Ed in space. That's a cool image. Gold topping. I nailed that. Only 66 views, but that was short term. Yeah, this video, I had basically put that out because somebody was like pestering me about Beyond Meat. And it's like, dude, this is what I'm thinking if you guys are doing it. I think it's going to come down. I think it's a bad investment. So many people probably bought the top. what can you do? People are going to people. Oh, and Rivian, I feel kind of bad about that because RJ, he was selling, but the stock performed well. So it's like, who cares that he's selling? And so I now have one share of Rivian, $20. I hope to add more lower, but if not, hey, I'm just happy to participate without emotion. This did not play out, but it was fun to make the thumbnail and to meme USAC, but I'm a shareholder. I don't have a contract. But yeah, it's like there's a hot lady there, and he's got, swing. I like that thumbnail. AMC 269 to me, dude, it's a buck lower, man. USAC, I'm taking advantage of that sale for sure. 100%. Oh, on you, Amy? 100%. Strive, ASST, it's gone a lot lower, but I think it's opportunity. This was kind of like a thesis I pitched. Didn't play out. Ticker request live, having fun with the sheep, recognizing euphoria and sacrificial lambs. And so that was like me talking about recognizing euphoria, talking about Neo and that experience. And my sacrificial lambs, it looked to me like crypto and specifically Ethereum treasury companies were going to go lower. And I was green on my Bitmine position. I was red on my SBIT position. So my sacrificial lamb was taking profit on Bitmine. I'm glad I did it because price is lower now. And what have I done recently? Established a new Bitmine position. Is it impressive? No, it's one share. But it's something. And I can build on that little bit of a foundation. That's what works for me. I'm a boring trader. You need software dumping. It didn't happen. Crypto Corner Sat Stacker. I think this is when I kind of started to get lazy with the thumbnails on that, or started to mix them up. Dude, this video, only 49 views. I love that. Look at that. It's me in a jacket pretending to be a news anchor. I think I need more content like that. However, that content only gets me 49 views. And I have to go through and practice with my voice. Breaking news. It's a lot of work. This one, dip and rip. I set a dip to around these levels. I added at that level around $6. Rip, but then I talked about it could possibly come back and retest this trend line. That trend line in that thumbnail intersects with these horizontal lines currently, and that's where the stock price is around sub $6. And I think Open Door is actually really interesting because it's like the housing market and also tech and how those things kind of intersect. And so I think that's just a really interesting play. Was that great analysis? It was spot on. Did it get a lot of views? No. Do I care if a video gets a lot of views? No. Most videos that get views are because of the exact wrong thing. And this is like all this stuff saying pray to the stonk gods. It was a red day. Just trying to be encouraging for people. It's all good. And then this was a night, I don't know if Ricardo will see this, but we've chatted about cigars a little bit. I made a fire, had a cigar, a slow way down. And yeah, I'm hoping the weather's a little bit warmer here in the next couple weeks so I can have a fire, have a cigar, slow down a little bit. Pray to the stonk gods. That's more or less a joke, but at the same time, I think it's good to slow down and appreciate what's going on, what you have, all of that. There's nothing better than a man in front of a fire, with a cigar. Yeah, so, and my birthday's coming up, so I want to have a cigar for that. One of the most depressing things, probably, when I lived in Vancouver, I have so many conflicting memories of living in Vancouver. I was in love there. I had the most amazing time. But at the same time, the person that I was in love with, we were not right for each other. And she's now a mom. And the thing that hit me was when she got married. And it's just like, I don't think I should ever contact her again. If she wants to reach out to me, I'll be there for her, whatever she needs. But yeah, I don't know. I've got so many memories with this wonderful person. And yeah, a lot of them in Vancouver. And we both had issues with family stuff, whatever. We were not able to be there for each other in the way that we needed. I think in a variety of ways. And maybe I'm being generous with that. But regardless, I care a lot about this person. And after we broke up, start at the end of 2019, the beginning of 2020, I moved into a small studio apartment by myself, thinking I'm going to be going out a bunch. I'm going to be meeting people. I'm going to be dating. No big deal. Pandemic starts. And that following year, I turned 35. And I had New Year's Eve. Yeah, because in the Pacific Northwest, winters aren't that bad. They're a little more mild. They rain, but no snow, no bitter cold. I had a cigar, I think both on New Year's and on my birthday. And I go to this park that's a block away from where I live in the basement corner of somebody's house. I go over to this like baseball diamond in the dugout, just having a cigar by myself with a little drink in a little Nalgene jar that I have. And yeah, I mean there's so much emotion for me in Vancouver. Highs and lows. Because like before I moved to Vancouver, that's where I fell in love. But then I moved to Vancouver, and that's where that love fell apart. And then that's where the pandemic happened. So yeah, I don't know. If I could do it over, you can't do anything over, but I just hope that person knows that I love her just as a human being. I care so much about her. And I think it's cool to have that kind of relationship and to be able to look back on it and just be happy for the other person and want nothing but the best for them. But yeah, continuing on with the chart stuff and not diving fires and cigars. So many moments in my life, I feel like pivotal moments are marked by cigars. And some of those cigars are marked by fires. Or rain. Yeah. But yeah, continuing on here. AMC. This is probably my last AMC video. I had done this, Bullish Signals and Thoughts When Hope is Lost, AMC Entertainment. 539 views. And then I do this, Chaos is a Ladder, which I think I put out like a day or two after this one. That's probably going to be my last AMC video. Sadly, but that's actually my 100th AMC video. I was going to do my 100th AMC video on basically pulling the Band-Aid off, saying this is, what I'm doing. I effectively explained that in this video. $5 strike call that expires January 2027. As of right now, I have enough of those contracts to replace the shares that I have in my Webull account. In my Robinhood account, that doesn't count. I'm still holding them from 2021 or whatever, so it's like I'm not worried about them. But I'm down in them. Of course, because AMC's at all-time lows. But regardless of that, who cares? This thesis I've basically executed, and time will tell. But yeah, if stock price AMC goes up to $10, I'm GTFOing my shares, and then if price pulls back, I'm exercising those calls. Or maybe if AMC goes up to 10, I'm selling my shares and I'm exercising those calls. I don't know. But yeah, no crying in the casino. Man, Neo people piss me off, in all honesty. They jab me. Thank you. I got some really nice comments on this video. But yeah, just appreciate all of you guys and, you know, the amount of work that goes in this channel. I appreciate those of you who show up, who comment, who show up in the chat. It means a lot. Those of you who are not watching this live, who will watch this later, it means so much to me. I'm going to look into the camera for this, make eye contact with you. It means so much to me that you're watching this now after the fact, that you care enough about the content that I'm creating, you care enough about my perspective, that you're going to sit through this like 3-hour ramble and hopefully get some value out of it. And so I 100% appreciate you. So thank you for being here. Loud Work, if you're still in the chat, I appreciate you for being here, hanging out. Even if it's just, you know, you're on your computer and you're in the other room or whatever, I appreciate it. Yeah, this video, I really like this one. It was kind of a different style where I responded to a video. I might try to do more of those in the new year just because I think it's like a different kind of content and it's stimulating for me. It's like, what do I learn by watching other videos? How can then I relate that to the kind of content that I produce and then produce new content from it? So I think it's nice and also expose people to Jordy Visser, who I feel like the GameStop community is probably not that familiar with him. One final dip, Crypto Corner set stacker, wrong, but hey, I think I was right short term. This, dude, I'm so excited. I'm loving having the PS5. I'm loving streaming gameplay. I wish more people showed up for the streams, but it's just like a different kind of content and it's fun for me. And it's a kind of content that people can watch a year later and still have the same impact than if they were to watch it like tomorrow versus a month from now. Stock's going to be doing something different. It's not as useful. Gameplay, it's fun all the time. And yeah, we're 4 weeks away, a month away. Less than that, so getting close to the end here. Gameplay videos. Mara, yeah, and this is something that I'm going to be experimenting with. Do I want to use an image from the gameplay for the thumbnail, or do I just want to do something from the chart? Or use AI to create an image for the thumbnail? Or do I just want to use the chart for the thumbnail? And so yeah, this is kind of like a merge of the thumbnail for the stream and the chart. So that's pretty cool. Only 64 views though. I fumbled with figuring out how to release this. I apologize if that was agonizing. Only 6 views. I paid the price for that. GameStop deals Astrobot. Dude, like, I am loving being a GameStop Pro member. It helps me to have fun, be a kid again. I enjoy it. That's what it's all about. Beginning where wins meet. There are so many cats in that game. It's crazy. I also interacted with some dogs tonight. They just barked a lot. It's kind of annoying. But yeah, that game, super fun. Only 18 views because it was a video I released. It's clip. Same with Chapter 2, The Goddess. Chapter 2. I need to look back at how I play those chapters because I have to stream it tomorrow. If Chapter 2 is when I approach the liquor here. What's Chapter 3? Underground was Chapter 3. Crap. So I think I combined the liquor with going to the East Station, which is insane. And then after the liquor, I did the underground. Crazy. Because I was thinking Chapter 1 was just getting to the station, exploring the West Station. Chapter 2 was the East Station. Chapter 3 was the Liquor. Chapter 4 was the Underground. And then Chapter 5, which would be on the Lives. Wait. Chapter 3 was the Underground. Chapter 4. Okay, Chapter 4 was, yeah, okay. Coming back from the Underground. Chapter 4 would have been like Mr. X. %. Maybe I want to Loudwork. I don't know if that you're interested in the gameplay streams, but I guess if you're here paying attention, if you're not, totally cool. But yeah, I don't like. Do you think like would you be more interested in to tune into one long Resident Evil 2 live stream where it's like 8 hours long, or would you rather tune into like 4 or 5 2-hour streams of it? Because it could be one exploring, like getting to the station, exploring the station, and then Chapter 2, the Liquor, Chapter 3, the Underground, Chapter 4, Mr. X, and then Chapter 5, the Sewer. Yeah, but maybe I could release them as video clips as well. I don't know. And this is live stream, so I want to get back over to the videos. Dude, Rivian, 122 views. I love that thumbnail. How I just inserted that Prime van, that's a Rivian van, in the parking lot there. That's like such beautiful, you know, where worlds meet, the game, reality, perfect. Open door. I'm gonna have an actually, I don't know. No, it's a Snapchat video tomorrow clip. And then yeah, Crypto Corner Stat Soccer, only 6 views. This is something useful to note. This marks a bottom. 6 views. That's insane. Highcroft, nearly 200 views. That was a good video. I cautioned about there being a top, and it has pulled back. Loudwork saying, I watch some girls on Twitch, LOL. I don't always pay much attention, can't stay with them long, but I appreciate their efforts to play through a game in a few days. Cool. Yeah, so I feel like I probably don't watch enough streamers who play games, how they like power through stuff. I'm taking my time. I feel like it's really just around my work schedule. I can't. But maybe that's a good point that, like, for example, when Resident Evil Requiem comes out, I should just stream that like exclusively for a week rather than once a week for 2 months. That'd probably be better for views. And so maybe I could actually gauge that when I'm doing like the weekly schedule. Like, okay, I'm going to get the game. Once I get the game, I'm going to stream it on like Monday. And if that performs well, I'm going to stream it on Tuesday. And so on. And then just work my way through the game. But if it doesn't perform well, or if it performs as well as my other streams, then it's just like, yeah, it's fine. Yeah, that's one of the disadvantages that I have. I am not an attractive woman. I'm just a guy. Good qualities, bad qualities, but guys don't care to, like, guys aren't tuning in to watch, you know, random guy talk about whatever game. guys are tuning in to watch attractive girl talk about whatever random game. Oh, you're a Resident Evil fan too? Cool. That's like, for me, it's like, I've got a stack of games here. I've got the Resident Evil kind of on display. You probably can't see it that well, but I just, you figuring out what to do with this white space. I probably need to get some LED lights or something. But I want me to be lit, because otherwise I think it gets a little too pixelated if it's too dark. But yeah, Resident Evil games, like, I'm playing them because I enjoy them. I don't care if they get views. Like tomorrow, I'm doing the long stream of it. And that actually might be a cool thing, because if it's like, if I do it in 2-hour clips, it will not necessarily build up momentum. But maybe if I do it over like 8 hours, maybe it will cross some threshold in the algorithm where it's like, this person's been streaming for 3 hours the same game that this like cohort of people are interested in. Algorithm's going to push it to them, and then some of those people actually like stick around. Whereas if I were to do little clips, A, that specific algorithm doesn't push it, and then B, people might watch like a 2-hour clip and then be like, oh, it's over, and then not stick around. So doing a long form stream could be a nice way to retain those viewers. So I think that's a good idea. And then so I should probably try to release it as individual chapter clips after that, which would make the part of the story perhaps more accessible. But kind of like the beginning of the game, it's like a little bit gruesome, and I don't think the YouTube algorithm likes that as far as accessibility goes or whatever. But yeah, this was a clip over here, EOS from Battlefield 6. And I try to take clips from the games that reference what I'm talking about in it, like EOS Energy to test historic support before launch. And it's like somebody in a parachute getting close to landing. So like, that kind of makes sense, that they're like coming down, but they're not down yet. And then this, Plug Power's possible dilution looms over investors, just like Mr. X looming over Leon. Neo-bottoming or breaking down. Like you got, the boss's booty right here, the bottom, breaking down or breaking down, blowing up, Peach explosion. I had fun with that thumbnail. I was really just trying to look for something that seemed interesting. It's like, well, that's got an explosion, and I'm talking about a bottom or breakdown. But hey, that makes sense. This Highcroft mining jumps 50% on high-grade silver discovery. And so this is like a discovery shining the light on a surprised snake. It's discovery of silver. UAMI getting ready to launch. That was just taken from Star Wars. Just colorful. Yeah, and then I just started getting to colorful strategy. Forming bullish divergence. Eyes watching, and then it's got the ape there with his eyes. It's got a little bit of pink eye there, though. Kind of gross. I feel bad about this one a little bit, because I didn't necessarily mean it, but I thought it was kind of funny. But a person who was joining his streams and like requesting like 3 tickers per video or per stream, and it's like, if nobody's requesting stuff, it's like cool to some extent, but at the same time, if it's like, if I'm doing a stream and I'm trying to get into a groove, and then I'm getting like 10 requests from the same person, it's like, then that's saturating basically my process, and it makes things difficult. And that's why I've veered away from doing like ticker requests live, because I just get too many requests, and it's quantity, not quality. And so this person, I was getting like all of these requests, like one of them, Equestive. Oh, actually, I thought that performed better. Maybe never mind. But this person, I requested some that I thought performed good, but they actually all kind of performed bad. 27 views, 77 views. So yeah, not even 100. Yeah, so it's like part of going over the stocks. Yeah, I mean, this one, 19 views. What I was saying, I feel a little bit bad about. This guy kind of looks like a zombie. And it's just like, this person just keeps asking me over and over for all this stuff. And it's like, dude, like ask me for one and be grateful for it if I cover it. Because it's like, you ask me to go over a stock, I'll go over it for free. No big deal. I'm just a guy on the internet though, so there's no like weight to my analysis. It's just another perspective. But if you ask me like 5 times to go over stuff over and over and over, it's like, well, then I can't go over stuff that I think is interesting. Like basically, like I went over Neo, Cantonese Cat, because I thought that was interesting. That got 562 views. Not only do I think that's interesting, I think it exposes people to another account that I think is good, and I get views. But yeah, I see. I will leave my devices running if I have to leave for something. I just to support the streamers I watch. Yeah, that's there's like, I do that as well, but usually like I'm everybody's different. I like sometimes I do that, but usually it's like I'm watching something specifically because I want to learn. And I don't have stuff going on in the background, but I know and I appreciate that that kind of engagement is valid. It's there, especially because like if ads pop up and you're not at your computer or whatever on your phone, then it's just like, then the full ad gets watched and it's beneficial. And so, yeah, that's like, there are so many ways to support content creators. Many of them are without any expense, just by watching, by commenting, by engaging in the chat, by liking, by sharing. All of that is free. And that immensely helps. It's insane. Just like how so many little things are appreciated because it's so much work doing this. Like this channel and an ex-girlfriend, not the one that I'm still in love with, or not still in love with, but that I love as a person, I should say. But one that I don't care for as a person anymore. But she and this channel helped me recognize that when people have said, hey, I might have Asperger's, it's like, wow, it's true, 100%. And so this channel is just like a way for me to dial that energy into, especially in the winter. When it's nice out, I end up working on projects outside. It's tough to do the channel. But if I get momentum on the channel where it's reinforced, like positive reinforcement, then it's like I'd keep doing it. But yeah, this one, this was a request, Enbridge, that did not get many views, only 16 views, but I stayed up late to put that out. And the reason was because I was going to go to bed. I don't have enough energy to put out a clip from that stream. But then it's like, no, I got a super chat, a very generous super chat for me to go over this ticker. And this person's given me super chats in the past. And it's just like, I mention it during the stream and I know the person got my analysis then, so it doesn't really matter to them. But just like, I want to signal to them that I appreciate them, and also to let others know that I appreciate super chats and stuff, but at the same time don't expect them. And yeah, so like, does that video didn't perform well? I don't care at all, because of that super chat, it might not show up in my YouTube analytics. But the stream where that clip was taken from, it shows up in that analytics that it was a great performer. So awesome there. This was an idea that I had, didn't perform that well, but I think it's just a really interesting discussion about having differences, discussing them in appropriate ways, not inappropriate ways, appropriate and inappropriate ways, but then in the end coming together and appreciating each other. And also just like valid points across the board, different perspectives. And I had fun making that thumbnail. Oh, actually, I wouldn't say I had making the thumbnail. I wouldn't say I had fun making the thumbnail, but I had a vision for the thumbnail. And I took my time navigating Grok to make that thumbnail. Like I had to do a little photoshopping in order for Grok to do the finishing touches. But actually, that's a great example of how AI is useful. AI is useful in not explicitly creating the thumbnail, but AI can be used as a tool to create the thumbnail. Like I had AI create the Cantonese cat, and I had AI create Colin Gladman, which is really just kind of like a generic guy, but in a golfing outfit and stuff. So it's Colin Gladman, and that they're boxing. But these were two separate images that I had to merge, and I couldn't get Grok to merge them. I had to manually do that. And the reason why it looks like there are stars in the background is my default PowerPoint background is stars. And then so I had Grok insert them into a boxing ring. And then I had Grok insert the Tesla logo there. So yeah, that was just an interesting experience, like directing AI, not just like saying, hey, AI, do this, but hey, AI, do this. And then it's like, no, AI, tweak that. AI can't figure out to tweak it. So I tweak it. And then I have AI complete and execute my vision. So that was cool. This one, if I have a doodle on it, it's just like, I don't care. I think it's going up. Just want to be clear. 118 views, 256 views. Both of those are good performers, but those are also kind of like meme stocks. And then also stream schedule. I'm going to do that every week. I might not do a video on it, but I'll post something on it on the channel. Maybe I'll do a short next week. But yeah, I'm all caught up with the videos on the channel. Tomorrow I'm going to have a clip on LAC, which is Lithium Americas. And I'm going to have a clip on Snapchat, ticker symbol SNAP. Those will come out at some point. I'm probably going to try and get the Lithium Americas clip set to go. So if people want to watch that while I'm streaming, they can. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it for the New Year's Eve stream. It's been about 3 hours as these streams tend to go. I have a lot of this to drink, but I'm not going to be able to if I want to get up and play Resident Evil. Dang it. It's embarrassing. I'm wearing my PJ pants, and I just spilled some Prosecco on them. So it's like, dang it. Trying to keep the PJ pants clean, but they are now dirty. Oh well. I'm going to be sweating out all this Prosecco anyway, so doesn't matter at all. But yeah, I mean, that's a stream. I'm going to come back to this poll to see if it has changed at all. Neo, no likes on that, but it did dip below 5. Arc Raiders, shout out to whoever voted for Arc Raiders. That's cool. Also, 7 votes, awesome. I appreciate everybody who's voted in these polls. I know they're not super popular, but it's cool. I also appreciate that Final Fantasy VII Remake is in the lead. And also, I should note it will be Final Fantasy Remake Intergrade, or whatever that is called, where it has the little extension, because that's like the PS5 version. But yeah, I mean, I'm not set in stone on this just yet. We can also check the comments. You know, I had posted this, and I should probably pin this. Kind of an explanation of the poll, and then somebody else suggested God of War. So that's for the February poll, but I think for February, I'm going to want to get Resident Evil and like stream that. And maybe like from Loudwork's suggestion, it might be a good idea for me to just stream that, you know, from beginning to end, or like, you know, concentrate the streams for the week on that game, and just do it in a week when it's popular, when it's hot. And so that could be cool. But yeah, Awesome to see 7 people participating. But yeah, with that being said, I'm going to log off. I'm going to get clips ready to release at certain times tomorrow, so I don't have to worry about that when I'm streaming Resident Evil. But I will be streaming a streamathon of Resident Evil 2 starting hopefully at 10 a.m. Eastern and maybe going for 8 hours. I don't know. Basically getting from the beginning to where I'm at in the game, but with more health, more weapons and ammunition, more knives, and yeah, just so I can like beat the game and not just be like struggling, because I had progressed before, but I was struggling to the point of like, I'm nearly dead. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to make it. But yeah, that's going to be tomorrow. This is about a 3-hour long stream, which is typical, so that's good. Thank you, Loudwork, for stopping by. Thank you, Coinage Stocks, for stopping by. You guys are awesome. Yeah, good night. Yeah, no worries. And glad you were able to join. And I feel like, you know, it's like every year for me, it's like, I want to do these things. I want this to be an exciting New Year's Eve, but it's just like nothing's happening. I don't care enough to make it happen. This was fun. And I appreciate you being here. I'm glad it was entertainment for you. And I will be streaming pretty much all day tomorrow, so feel free to stop by. I won't be doing ticker requests because I'm going to be focusing on the game, but I will have the clips out, and I will, let's see, what's the schedule? I'm trying to keep a schedule. I'll then be doing Prince of Persia Thursday evening, 7 p.m. Eastern, and I'll be doing either requests or ticker breaks, 2 of them during that 3-hour stream. So it should be fun. But yeah, thanks for joining, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a great start to the new year. And yeah, thank you all so much for being here after the fact or during the fact, like Loudwork and Coinage Stocks. Take care, you guys. I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.